We're back at the College of Charleston where the Cougars are getting set to take on the Wofford Terriers, and joining me now is head coach John Kress. Coach, the club is 5-0 in conference play, and I guess when all things are considered, you've got to be pleased with the way the team has come together to this stage.
It's one of the most exciting years ever at the College of Charleston. We haven't lost a game since December the 4th, when we lost to the Gamecocks of South Carolina. Then the North Carolina win perpetuated and started something that we've got, I think, on a roll. We're playing very consistent, well-balanced. It's always 4, 5, 6 guys in double figures. It's 5-0 in the Southern Conference, and it's some national exposure. The most important thing, though, is to keep the guys on track. Don't get overconfident. Keep playing basic meat and potatoes basketball, hitting the open man, working out, fading off on defense. We run when we play good defense, and I think we've got things exactly where we want them as we come on a homestand. Wofford tonight, then UT Chattanooga on Monday.
Is there any one aspect of the way things have gone this season that really stands out in your mind? And I guess what I'm thinking of is, in terms of the team coming together, do you think that any one aspect of the club's play has sort of brought it together like it is?
Again, it's the depth of the team. 2 years ago, Stacey Harris would have a good game, and Thad Delaney and Anthony Johnson and Rodney Connor, but now it's 6 or 7. Carl Thomas scores 20 against North Carolina. Danny Johnson is twice the Southern Conference player. 3 week performances. Jamel President has scored 20 and 21 in his last 2 games. Weber can get 25 and sometimes 5 on a different occasion. Carlos Brown has chipped in. Jody Lumpkin has chipped in. Shane McCravey is maybe the best point guard in the Southern Conference. So the great depth and how everyone can step up, and someone is not shy enough not to step up. But the guy who doesn't get the shots is not pouting. He is still happy to be part of the team aspect. The winning is important to these seniors. They want to go as far as they can in our last 12 regular season games. And that's what I love to see happen as a coach and a mentor of a program.
Do you think that the best is still yet to come for this team?
Well, people at Sports Illustrated called this week, and ESPN called, and they said, is this our best team ever? Well, we see what happens at the end of the season. When we are finished and we have to pack the balls up someday in March, then we'll compare this team to the teams of the past. But right now, it's going well. The guys are getting more healthy. Carl Thomas is back. Jeff Bolton is back almost at full speed, and he's straight a rookie in our program. So I think things are going very, very well. But you could always get upset. If you overlook an opponent and look for the next night and the team comes in and plays harder than you and a little smarter down the stretch, then it's doldrums time. You'll lose one you shouldn't lose.
And this Wofford team is a team that has potential to beat anyone because they've only got 1 conference loss.
They're 2-1. They come in with 2 of the highest scorers in the Southern Conference. Chadwick, a sophomore, is getting 18 points a game, and Forbes is getting 16. Richard Johnson is a longtime player and coach at the Citadel, and they'll come in very, very ready for this battle. I expect them to play a very quick, emotion-type game, and we'll have our hands full. But I expect us to do well, especially if it's a close game, and we can win one down the stretch.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you very much, Steve.
We'll be back with more of the Cougars on Comcast right after this.
Fall into the new fall fashions at Bluestein's. You'll look distinguished in a suit package with all the accessories. Bluestein's has suits for all occasions. 3-piece suits, double-breasted or single-breasted. Choose one of several styles of hats to top it all off. Bluestein's also has 2-piece sets, dress slacks, and dress shirts. So come on down to Bluestein's, and remember, if we ain't got it, you don't want it. Bluestein's Menswear, 494 King Street. Parking in the rear.
Technology. It's about the future. At Comcast, technology is at the heart of everything we do. Upgrading the cable system is just one way we're preparing for the future. Soon, we'll offer cable modems that make high-speed connections to the internet in the blink of an eye to help get the information you want into your home and into your hands when you need it. That's our commitment to the people who call the Low Country home. Get ready for the future. Comcast, everything you connect with.
Life insurance. Do I need term or whole life? Retirement planning.
Will I have enough to live on?
Disability income. What if I get hurt? College funding.
It costs a fortune.
Hi, I'm Jim Smith of the Franklin Companies. My job is to help families prepare for their financial futures. If you would like to represent one of the industry's most secure and admired insurance companies, call us at 881-4904 and join one of the fastest growing life insurance organizations in the Low Country.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Jones for Gene Reed Toyota. It's the 20th anniversary Toyota-thon. We've got super savings for you. If you're looking for sports utility vehicles, Toyota 4Runners, for example, right now you can buy for no money down or payments as low as $299 a month. And when you buy any new or used car or truck from Gene Reed Toyota, get $500 cash back just in time for holiday shopping. Pick up the phone and give us a call. Remember, if we make a deal, we'll pay off your trade what you owe. We're here nightly till 9, Sundays till 6, Gene Reed Toyota.
The 95th time that Wofford and the College of Charleston has met. Wofford has won 63 and only lost 31, but the College of Charleston has won 9 consecutive games in this series and 13 out of the last 14. Richard Jablonski along with Tony Schufo. And Rich, you got to look at tonight's starting lineups.
Well, why don't we start with the Wofford College Terriers. Wofford, coached by Richard Johnson, is off to a 5-7 start, 2-1 in the Southern Conference. They are 1-5 on the road. The guys to watch for: Ian Chadwick, the 6'3" sophomore, averages 17.8 points a game, and he is a 42.4% three-point shooter. More than half of his attempts are threes. And Alfred Forbes, who averages 15.6 points, 4.7 rebounds. He's only a 35.8% shooter from the floor. He does his damage from the three-point line in. Primarily a driver and pull-up type of guy is Alfred Forbes. Otherwise, Rashane Deloche at center, Star Z Walker at the small forward position, and Donald Davis, the senior guard, who, although averaging 8.3 points per game for the season, has averaged 12.7 points versus Southern Conference opponents this year. That's a look at the Wofford College starting lineup. For the College of Charleston Cougars tonight, as we take a look at the John Kress Arena and the players warming up, the Cougars coming in with a 13-2 record, 5-0 in the Southern Conference, 8-0 at home. And where do you start with this lineup? Shane McCravey, the point guard, leads the team in assists. He has 69 of them through 15 games. That's 4.6 a game. The two-man Jermel President leads them in three-pointers attempted and made. He's averaging 11.2 points per game. Danny Johnson, the three-man, leads the team in minutes, averaging 10.9 points per game. Cedric Weber back in the starting lineup, replacing Carlos Brown, primarily for a more beneficial defensive matchup earlier in the game. And also, Cedric's been playing outstanding ball, averaging 12.5 points, 6.8 rebounds per game. And Jody Lumpkin, the center, 9.2 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 58.1% shooting from the floor for Jody Lumpkin. Part of the reason why College of Charleston has had such high percentage success on the offensive end this year.
Rich, that had to be some kind of mismatch because John Kress and his club was 10-0 with Weber coming off the bench. And you know John is not one to tinker with something that's going that well.
John Kress does not want Wofford to get off to a good start. And the way you do that is you try to take away their primary weapons. Alfred Forbes, in this case, is not an ideal matchup for Carlos Brown. He's also not an ideal matchup for Cedric Weber, but he's a darn good matchup for Danny Johnson. Cedric Weber steps into the lineup because he's going to get the start against Star Z Walker, who at 6'3" is more of a quick perimeter guy and a better matchup than Carlos Brown.
Now, we talked before the game kind of privately, going over what we were going to talk about tonight's game, and you said some very interesting things about what Richard Johnson's done here at Wofford and in personnel.
Well, Wofford is a school that, for many years, competed in NAIA District 6. They also made the transition to NCAA Division I, but they did it a different way. They went to Division II first, and then made the step to Division I. In upgrading their program from Division II to Division I over the course of time, they have not put a big team on the floor, but they've put a much quicker and more athletic team on the floor, and that really is why Wofford has been able to step up its success rate over the course of seasons in the Division I level.
College of Charleston, as Richard mentioned, 13-2. There's a good look at James Griffin. You may have read the article early this week in the Post and Courier. That's a young man who transferred from Wake Forest. And Rich, you know a little more about him.
This guy was a state high school player of the year in South Carolina at Greenville High School. He was a prolific scorer at the high school level. Actually started games earlier this season at Wake Forest. He's primarily, in my mind, a two-guard. He's a scorer. I don't think of him as a great shooter, but he knows how to fill the basket, and he's a guy who will be eligible second semester next year and make that gentleman, John Kress, make his life a lot easier.
One of the assistant coaches, Jim Yarbrough, told me that he's a lot like a Jeff Bolton or Danny Johnson, and I don't know that you could never have enough of those guys.
He's so athletic. He's quick. He can score. And, you know, if you look at College at Charleston next year, losing so many seniors off of this year's team, it's important to have a player with the experience at the ACC level that James Griffin has.
You look just to the left on the screen there of John Kress. That is Pat Davis, who's a young man who's redshirting from San Diego, California. And you think, oh, walk-on, really not in the plans. But talking to the players and some of the staff here, they are really excited the job that Pat Davis is doing. They expect a lot out of him.
I think he's kind of a find. And, you know, you always hope that your walk-on invitees can reach a level where maybe someday you think about giving them scholarship support or athletic scholarship support. And I don't know that that's going to happen for Pat Davis, but he certainly has made an initial impression that's very favorable.
I think one of the best compliments that could be given to him is I've had some of the assistant coaches say, hey, there are a lot of Division I teams in America that he could be starting for, so he's someone to look forward to. John Kress, of course, looking for career win, number 479, as the Cougars get set to take on Wofford.
He actually is playing coaching his 599th career game at College at Charleston tonight, and as he said, 478 and 120, 79.9% victory effectiveness for John Kress, and those kind of numbers are just outlandish. I don't care where you're playing.
Yeah, and I don't know anything really you can do in this world that you do 80% of the time and do it correctly, maybe sleeping and eating in my case, but 80% of anything is phenomenal. College at Charleston and Wofford coming up. Let's take a break. You're watching the Cougars on Comcast.
I need a Coke, a Coke, a Coke. Help me, someone. I need a Coke. Hey, Mo, do you know where I can get a Coke? It's really hot, and I need a Coke. Calm down. Just relax. I've got a Coke. But first, you have to clean the laundry. Clean the laundry? Yes, the laundry. I did the laundry. I've got a Coke. Oh, yes.
To be honest, I've never liked flying.
And the name thing? It's a little weird, man.
Meet the Wright brothers, Comcast at Home revolutionaries.
Even though we're miles apart, we love playing games on the net.
That's why the Wrights use Comcast at Home, the fastest internet service available for your home.
My brother's such a wimp. Yeah, but we can play this fast. I don't mind flying so much.
Comcast at Home, the cable, internet, revolution.
Check out Comcast at-home internet service at these fine locations.
In the past 10 years, Santee Cooper helped bring $5.7 billion of economic development into South Carolina. But it's not all about big business growth. It's about finding ways to help grow any business.
Guess we're as big as we want to be.
And with this growth came something just as important as factories. Jobs. Over 18,000 new jobs.
Hey, my first paycheck.
Santee Cooper, the South Carolina energy resource that belongs to South Carolinians.
Technology. It's about the future. At Comcast, technology is at the heart of everything we do. Upgrading the cable system is just one way we're preparing for the future. Soon, we'll offer cable modems that make high-speed connections to the internet in the blink of an eye to help get the information you want into your home and into your hands when you need it. That's our commitment to the people who call the Low Country home. Get ready for the future. Comcast, everything you connect with.
Another sellout here at the John Kress Arena. The Cougars, Rich, has sold out every game this year. In fact, this game was sold out as early as Thursday, and I guess someone forgot to tell everyone we're playing the Citadel. This has just not happened in recent years, but what a successful story this is this year going on here in the Low Country.
The community and the institution, the students have always supported the College of Charleston Cougars very well, but this year, this team seems to have really captured the community's imagination. And even over the Christmas holidays, when the students were not in session or on campus, this place was packed with people from the town. And it's great to see people get behind a program. It really can help the program get to the next level and maybe pull through a couple tough games should those occur at the John Kress Arena.
Still waiting on the public address announcer with tonight's starting lineups. But speaking of going to the next level, Cedric Weber did so against the Citadel, reaching 1,000 points. And the next guy to do that could possibly do it tonight if he continues to score like he's been doing. Jamel President just 20 shy of 1,000.
Jamel President has been playing with such a high degree of confidence, and that's critical for Jamel because he takes a fair share of shots. He is not shy. When he is confident and he is stroking the ball, man, he can light it up. He can sting you from three-point range, a 43.8% shooter from that range. He's a great free throw shooter, 88.6%, 39 for 44 from the season. And then there's that trademark running one-hander, that little floater, whether it's in the lane or on the baseline. A good look at Jermel there, a native of Charleston, South Carolina, went to Burke High School and then prepped a year at Fort Union.
Well, we do have a delay here, and the delay is that the public address system is not working, and so this game not getting off certainly to the start that John Kress wants, because you know John, he is one that, and everything is to the minute, to the second. In fact, he's the type of guy call you up and say, listen, I'd like to meet with you. What do you say we do it in 7.5 minutes? I mean, that is how precise and how organized this man is.
Well, precise, organized, and a creature of habit. And that precision, that organization, and that adherence to habit is one of the reasons why College of Charleston is so successful year in and year out. It's the same act year in, year out, and they get more than their share of wins because of it.
Richard Johnson played and coached at the Citadel. He hasn't had success, however, against the Cougars. He's 0-7 lifetime against the College of Charleston, and Wofford 0-5 all-time in this building.
Yeah, but Richard Johnson, I think, is a happy guy. I think he feels better about his team this year. I think physically he feels better. He was telling me before the game that he's dropped a few pounds this year, so he feels better, he looks better, and he just seems so much more positive than he was at this time last year. I was ecstatic to see how happy he seemed to be.
Ian Chadwick, he's a guy that certainly makes things happen, but he struggled against the Cougars last year.
Takes a lot of threes. Last year, he was 2 of 12 from the floor, 1 of 10 from three-point range as the Cougars defeated Wofford 79-48.
John Kress, very uncharacteristic. We've heard over the last week or so. He is really out there trying to get in the top 25. It's something he doesn't do, but he's out there really trying to get his team to vote to the points that it takes to possibly get in the top 25, and that is very uncharacteristic of him.
I think what he's trying to do is twofold. One, I think he's trying to hold that challenge out in front of this team and keep their interest, keep them moving forward with something to shoot for. The other thing is he would like this team to have as much national notoriety as possible before it enters the Southern Conference tournament, because heaven forbid they go into the tournament, let's say as a #1 seed, and then get upset. The Southern Conference gets one automatic bid. It goes to the tournament champ, and Kress, I think, would like to set the stage, if needed, for an at-large bid.
Well, the College of Charleston about to be introduced, and we'll let you enjoy.
The type of enthusiasm that you see in this introduction ceremony is one of the reasons College of Charleston is so deadly in the John Kress Arena to opposing teams.
And we've only been to 3 other buildings at this point. I guess you could throw the Citadel in there. Quite frankly, there's no one in this league so far that can equal the crowds and the enthusiasm here at the John Kress Arena.
It's a tremendous advantage, and when you're playing in conference play, you have to hold serve, Tony. I don't like that tennis analogy too much, but you got to win home games.
Good to see a smile on the face of Carlos Brown, knowing that he's not starting for the first time since the South Carolina game.
I think he understands the factors that go into it, and I fully expect both Cedric Weber and Carlos Brown to have solid games in this slightly revised roles.
Well, there you have it, the starting lineup for the Cougars. You talk about getting in the top 25, what certainly helps. A lot of losses, 20 through 25 this week. Ohio State and others, TCU, and also, which can't hurt the College of Charleston, UMass today knocks off Kansas.
Certainly could help. College of Charleston needs support from as many of its opposing teams as possible to build that schedule strength.
Here's Zach Brewster with the national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ringing, the bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, no one does it like John Kress as far as coaching. I don't think anyone does it like Zach Brewster when it comes to singing the national anthem. He in himself is a pep rally. I mean, he gets the crowd enthused. He gets the announcers enthused as far as that goes. College of Charleston and Wofford getting set to tip things off. This is a scary game because Wofford has the ability to come in here and win. It reminds me of some of the games we had to tackle late in the year. Central Florida was a game. Just kind of hope that the college comes out and plays with the same emotion they've been doing since the North Carolina game.
Well, a few last-minute instructions there from College of Charleston coach John Kress, and I'm sure he's saying, guys, let's go out and get in the first punch. Let's start the game well. Let's counter their quickness with our quickness. Let's punch the ball inside and take advantage of our size advantage there, and let's get off to a good rocking start in front of this crowd of 3,000 or so at the John Kress Arena tonight.
The three officials assigned tonight by the Southern Conference for this game are Michael Costable, Carl Blair, and Quentin Murphy.
Costable, who has actually worked NBA games, Tony, will be the man tossing the ball up, and Blair and Murphy, his crew, with him tonight.
So he is the man in the middle as we get set to jump. Rashane Deloach against Lumpkin, and the Cougars on the opening tip. Weber starting for the first time since the South Carolina game, misses the opening shot of the game, gets his own rebound. Jermel President now 18 points shy of 1,000.
And it works for Jermel because you have to respect his three-point shooting ability. Defense races out towards him. A pump fake, he goes right by him for a bucket.
Cougars doing a good job. They're going to try to deny Chadwick touches all night long.
Man-to-man and hard man-to-man by College of Charleston. Chadwick being defended by Shane McCravey.
Just underway, 2-0 Cougars. Forbes against Johnson.
And that's a big matchup as well for College of Charleston.
That ball may have been blocked, and McCravey gets the rebound.
It was, Tony, and Danny Johnson, a premier shot blocker for a man his size.
Johnson just inside the arc, and the Cougars lead it 4-0.
The first couple jabs in this prize fight belong to College of Charleston. A couple good shots by President and Johnson. And Wofford is going to have to pick up the pace immediately.
4-0 Cougars. Up top to Star Z Walker. Davis with the offensive board, and Wofford is on the board. It's 4-2.
College of Charleston with a significant rebounding advantage against its opponents. Wofford, conversely, with a rebounding deficit, but hitting the offensive glass there.
Just underway from the John Kress Arena. Cougars with an early 2-point advantage. Weber can't get it to go. He's now 0 for 2, but that's a pretty good shot for him. Walker trying to tie it on the other end. Couldn't do so. It's out of bounds. It'll remain Wofford basketball. That is a good shot for Sed Weber. We saw him last year when he played the 5 spot really make that shot quite often.
It was a set play, and it was so wide open that the ball was actually sent into Weber a count or two later than it should have been, and he was still open.
Chadwick, a guy you certainly don't want him to heat up.
Wofford really struggling to get good, clean looks at the basket in the half-court set.
Walker with it, out to Chadwick. Good job by McCravey. 3 attempt. Weber has the loose ball. Here's a 1-on-2. President open and got it. Boy, and that is something that Jermel's been doing, and Weber. He's finding the open man.
And that will set up College of Charleston's full court pressure. Probably go with the 2-2-1 zone press. Excellent job there by Weber, getting the ball to his teammate on the opposite side of the floor, spotting up, and President's just so confident right now.
And Weber has done that all year, and he's really come to play and done a good job. And a turnover as Wofford throws it away.
Wofford needs to be very careful right here and right now, because College of Charleston, on its next few field goals made, will probably come back with some more pressure, both zone and man. And Wofford needs to do a better job on the defensive end, denying those field goals made.
Top to Jody Lumpkin. Underneath. Good idea by Cedric Weber. Good defense, however, by Wofford.
Wofford plays a variety of defenses. They'll play man-to-man. They've got a matchup zone. And last year they actually played triangle and 2 for some stretches against College of Charleston.
Reaching the 17-minute mark, and Cougars on a 5-point lead. Jermel President, 5 points early on. Shot clock under 10. And a foul. And we have seen Shane McCravey penetrate when he's had to, and he's done a marvelous job for John Kress.
Victimizing Donald Davis there, penetrating with the left hand. And Shane McCravey, although averaging 6.1 points per game, is actually a 50% field goal shooter. He generally takes high percentage shots, especially when he's penetrating as opposed to shooting three-pointers.
Double team comes, so Weber finds the open man, and it's Danny Johnson for 3.
See, that's one of the keys. Wofford will look to double team post players, and the men who are open are the perimeter players on the reverse side. That cross-court pass is going to be there all night, Tony.
Chadwick open for 3, and he hits it. Good ball movement that time.
Exactly the point. Wofford with the extra pass, finding Chadwick on the perimeter, and Jody Lumpkin mismatched out there trying to get out and contest the shot, was not quick enough to get there.
10-5. Cougars on top. President. Johnson tried to force it, and Wofford with the steal.
Offense standing around a little bit there, Tony. Wofford with an opportunity now to get back into this game right away.
First turnover for the Cougars. Starzy Walker. Deloach, great position on Lumpkin, and it's a 3-point game.
He pinned Jody Lumpkin away from the basket, and it was the bounce pass that was the key there, sneaking that ball through the eye of the needle to the postman, and Deloach made no mistake.
So a 5-0 run by the visitors. It's cut the 8-point advantage down to 3. Weber on the baseline.
This is a zone, Tony.
Skip past Jermel President, missed the 3 this time, and Forbes pulls down the rebound.
Pretty sure it's a zone defense, although the way Wofford matches up so aggressively, it can look like man-to-man. They actually follow cutters through their zone.
Forbes almost lost his balance, gets it to Walker, down the lane, he's fouled on the play. Starzy Walker.
That was on number 20, Jermel President, his first.
So President picks up his first foul. It's the first on the Cougars, and we have our first timeout of the night. Timeout on the floor, 10-7 Cougars. Back with more. You're watching the Cougars on Comcast.
A common thread in the lives of over 1.1 million South Carolinians is Santee Cooper. For that's how many people depend on the electric power we generate.
Goodness, doesn't that sound like a lot of folks?
Sure does.
And for 55 years, the rates for this low-cost power have remained below the national average.
Whoa, now I can live with this.
Santee Cooper, the South Carolina energy resource that belongs to South Carolinians.
To be honest, I've never liked flying. And the name thing? It's a little weird, man.
Meet the Wright brothers, Comcast at Home revolutionaries.
Even though we're miles apart, we love playing games on the net.
That's why the Wrights use Comcast at Home, the fastest internet service available for your home.
My brother's such a wimp. Yeah, but we can play this fast. I don't mind flying so much.
Comcast at Home, the cable, internet, revolution.
Check out Comcast at-home internet service at these fine locations.
Early on, Cougars by 3. Rich?
The penetration there and the left-handed move by Starzy Walker, rejected by College of Charleston. The Cougars active on defense, but a little stagnant on the offensive end in the last minute or so of that first segment of the game.
With a name like Starzy, he has got to be an All-Southern Conference candidate.
Well, 7.1 points per game, 3.2 rebounds. He's a role player on this team.
All-name team.
Definitely.
We'll go with the all-name team.
A perimeter role player.
So he'll go to the free throw line. Will Walker.
Where he is, a 52.6% free throw shooter, 10 for 19 on the season.
He's out of College Park, Georgia, and he connects on his first attempt, and the lead is down to 2.
He is a 6'3" three-man, which would figure to be a fairly good matchup for College of Charleston at the 3 spot for Danny Johnson, but College of Charleston coach John Kress wants Danny Johnson on Alfred Forbes.
7-0 is the run by Wofford, and they've cut the margin to 1 point. Shane McCravey, the senior out of Dorman High School in Spartanburg. So Jamal President back to McCravey. Shot clock under 18. Carlos Brown, by the way, is in the game.
There's that skip pass across the court again on the double team, Tony.
McCravey, nice look underneath the Brown, but he can't handle it, and Wofford picks up the Cougars' second turnover of the night. Thank you very much on the other end as Wofford picks up their second turnover.
Ian Chadwick looking for the hit ahead, and really right there what Wofford I'm sure would have preferred was just a good solid possession and a look at the bucket from a high percentage spot.
10-9 as we're under 15 minutes remaining in the first half. Carlos Brown again having trouble. This time foul. One thing he can do, he may have trouble handling the ball at times, Rich, but he is strong and he's going to make a lot of contact with people.
He actually leads the Cougars in terms of getting to the free throw line, where he is 44-54. He leads them in makes and attempts, does Carlos Brown. By the way, that's 74.1% free throw accuracy.
So Brown at the line, young man out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Increases the Cougar advantage to 11-9. Carl Thomas will head into the ball game.
Thomas replacing Danny Johnson. So once again, I would assume that Thomas would get the responsibility of Alfred Forbes defensively.
Kenny Hasty also in the game for Wofford as Brown hits a pair. Colin Largent will check in as well as Starzy Walker will head to the bench. So the lead back to 3, and the Cougars again, Rich, showing pressure.
This time a man-to-man look as McCravey and Chadwick go head-to-head.
Chadwick has hit 1 3-pointer tonight. Gives it to Forbes.
Matched up with Thomas.
Ball knocked away, but Wofford able to come up with it.
Forbes gives away 3 inches to Carl Thomas. Thomas may be able to harass him when he's shooting pretty effectively.
Does get the steal. Davis has to get out the way because Weber knows how to finish.
Colin Largent, a freshman and looking like one there, victimized by the senior Cedric Weber.
14 minutes to go. Cougars by 5 here in the first half. Hasty swinging at Largent. Up top to Davis, and he traveled. So a turnover, and Weber certainly got this crowd into the game with that dunk.
College of Charleston is not only able to force turnovers, but by and large, they do a pretty good job finishing them. And one of the reasons is because they have so many mobile guys who can handle the ball, pass the ball, and shoot the ball.
Jeff Bolton into the game, and Rich, he's a guy who's getting, not 100%, but he's getting better every day.
The ankle getting a little bit better. John Kress commenting on it, and then looking for a lob there, I think. Wasn't there.
Carlos Brown just inside the arc. Tried to force that pass. Good job by Chadwick. Davis can't get it to go. Good defense by Bolton. Weber down the lane. Missed the pair, but there's Carl Thomas, the senior out of Tampa, to get the tip, and it's 16-9.
Rebounding a real problem for Wofford College. They're so small, and College of Charleston is not only bigger, but a little bit quicker and more explosive. That could be one of the real keys to this ball game, is Wofford's ability to handle its work on the defensive side.
McCravey with the steal. McCravey with the layup.
Richard Johnson may want a timeout here, Tony.
He does, a 20-second timeout. It is 18-9. And Rich, I'm going to tell you, I can't remember seeing this team playing so hard, and it seems like they've just got an extra step tonight.
Well, we think of pressure defense as a full-court pressure issue. College at Charleston turning it up in the half court. Cedric Weber and McCravey creating turnovers, and here's Weber with an authoritative finish after stripping the ball from freshman Colin Largent.
Well, he nearly got the steal the first time. Comes right back at it. Young man Weber, who led the Trans-America last year in steals, picks the pocket cleanly. And certainly dunking is something he's never had a problem with for the most part. He was the high school slam dunk champion as a senior. We won't bring up the Central Florida game. But you were showing me a note. Anyway, Wofford with the ball, trying to break an 8-0 Charleston run. Wofford had just scored 7 in a row, and then the Cougars come back with 8 in a row. Largent shooting a three-pointer, and Carl Thomas pulls down the rebound.
College at Charleston just has so many ways it can grind an opposing team down, Tony. They can execute on the offensive end. They've got perimeter shooters. They've got good inside, effective inside players. And they can hurt you in the half court or full court defensively. I mean, this team just has a lot of ways to beat you.
Brown, a little too strong on that jumper, but there's Cedric Weber hustling for the rebound. President to Brown, now to Weber. Carl Thomas open for three and connecting. Unselfish basketball by the Cougars.
The ball movement so good there, starting with Cedric Weber penetrating and kicking to the perimeter, and then the one extra pass for Thomas to get the open shot.
Forbes out to Chadwick. Now Pryor, and they'll swing it around. Underneath, a whistle and a foul on Carl Thomas. 21-9, the Cougars led early 10-2. Wofford cut it to 10-9. And since that point, Cougars have run off 11 in a row. 11:44 to go in the first half. We've got another break in the action. Cougars leading by 12. Back with more. You're watching College of Charleston basketball on Comcast Cable.
Life insurance.
Do I need term or whole life?
Retirement planning.
Will I have enough to live on?
Disability income.
What if I get hurt?
College funding.
It costs a fortune.
Hi, I'm Jim Smith of the Franklin Companies. My job is to help families prepare for their financial futures. If you would like to represent one of the industry's most secure and admired insurance companies, call us at 881-4904 and join one of the fastest growing life insurance organizations in the Low Country.
It's the new year. What better time to save on a new 99 Nissan Altima GXE? And your Nissan retailer has a great selection, too. There's standard luxuries like power windows, locks, cruise control, air conditioning, dual airbags, and even an AM/FM CD audio system. The Altima's powered by a 150-horsepower engine, the most powerful in its class. All this led Money Magazine to name the Nissan Altima a best buy. Or maybe they heard about this.
Lease a Nissan Maxima GXE for only $199 a month, only at Northside Nissan.
Here's a look at our score, 21-12. And here's a look at the Cougars doing a good job on the offensive end.
They collapse on Cedric Weber. President makes the extra pass to Thomas, and Thomas showing you the three-point stroke that was so timely against the University of North Carolina back in December.
High archer for the senior who transferred from Western Carolina. Some other scores to tell you about in the Western Kentucky Southern Conference. This Citadel early on leading over at McAllister 13-8 over Chattanooga, our opponent. Monday night, of course, that game will be on Comcast Cable. Wofford, Terenthio White in the game first time tonight for the Terriers. Forbes just inside the arc, hits it, and that breaks that 12-0 or 11-0 Charleston run and cuts the margin to 10.
And now a little bit of pressure by Wofford College. Zone pressure, 1-2-2.
Bolton across the timeline to Thomas, now in the corner to Brown. Cougars leading by 10. Thomas that time with a bad pass, and then he comes back with the foul. But that's not a bad foul because Wofford had the numbers. In fact, they had a 2-on-none, and Thomas able to break things up.
What led to that turnover, though, originally was that Wofford College continues to play that aggressively matching zone defense. They start out in full court pressure, then they go back, they match, they double team, they do some unusual things defensively, and College of Charleston had a hard time getting into its motion offense, was stagnant, and it resulted in a poor pass.
President knocks it down. Good defense as Pryor tried to make the pass over him, but Jamel President knocks it away.
No stagnation on the defensive end for College of Charleston. President very, very active.
So Wofford to inbound at midcourt, a tick under 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Chadwick to Largent. Good screen leaves Chadwick open, but he can't hit the three, and Carlos Brown pulls down the rebound. Jamel President. Jeff Bolton right in front of the Wofford bench. We've got a whistle and a foul on Terenthiel White. Terenthiel White, interesting. He is a great baseball player, Rich, and a young man who thought that could have a great baseball career. I saw him as a high school baseball player. What a player he was, but from what I understand, he's given up baseball altogether.
Just a super athlete from right up the road in Holly Hill. Went to Holly Hill Roberts High School.
Lumpkin able to pull it down. Carlos Brown. Now Jamel President down on the baseline. Brown almost lost it. President, double team came on the baseline. Good defense by Wofford. Cougars with the shot clock at 10. President working against Pryor. They go to the baseline set, 1-4. President down the lane, kicks it out. Bolton is open and connecting.
That's just a killer for Wofford right there. 35 seconds of great defense, and then Bolton strokes the three right at the end of it.
White up top to Largent, now to Pryor. Walker thought about the three. Pryor instead will take it, and he missed it. Danny Johnson is fouled on the play. Starzy Walker hustling for that loose ball and off the legs of Danny Johnson.
And Cedric Weber back on the floor for College of Charleston, replacing Carlos Brown. And Shane McCravey stepping on the floor. He'll run the show at the point for Jeff Bolton.
So McCravey in. He'll run the team from the point position. Wofford changing defenses just about every trip down.
And once again, though, it's a zone, Tony. I mean, it's primarily been zone for Wofford. They got stung early man-to-man and have gone into this.
Johnson hangs and hits, but a good call by the official. No question about it. Ced Weber that time hit the rim while the ball was in the cylinder, and that's an excellent call by the official.
Johnson with the good penetrating move into the open area of the zone, but once again, the no-no, the offensive interference.
Cougars by 13.
As opposed to Wofford playing a lot of zone, Charleston playing a lot of man-to-man in the early going of this game.
Tough shot, offensive rebound, White, and a foul on Jody Lumpkin. Boy, I'd like to get a replay of that one. Looked like a pretty clean block. May have got him with the lower body.
Well, we may see it right here.
Wow, I think, Rich, that's as clean as they come in college basketball. Unfortunately, the whistle went the wrong way for John Kress's crew.
And Terenthiel White will step to the free throw line, where he is a 53.3% shooter, only 8 for 15 this season.
White gets the friendly bounce on the first opportunity. The margin is 12. Substitution, Chadwick. And Bishop Ravenel, young man who grew up just down the road and played at Portugal School.
Bishop Ravenel is in his sophomore season now at Wofford, averaging 1.4 points and 2.1 rebounds a game. Played for Randy Clark and John Pearson at Portugal, where he was a prolific scorer.
White hits 1 out of 2. He had a tremendous baseline dunk against the Cougars a year ago. I know something he'll certainly remember. President on the baseline. To McCravey. Shot clock at 16. Cougars by 12 and patient on offense, but there's a turnover. Walker. Cross-court pass. And Lumpkin fouls.
His second, if I'm not mistaken, Tony, and in the space of a minute, that time trying to react out to the perimeter against Terenthiel White, and kind of a ticky-tack foul.
Well, you love the aggressiveness and the hard work by Jody Lumpkin, but certainly not where you want your center to pick up a foul some 20 feet away from the basket. Pryor will operate for the Terriers. And a break for the Cougars, a turnover. Here's Johnson. And the lay-in, and he did a great job that time, Rich, body control.
Good hit-ahead pass by Cedric Weber. And Danny Johnson, with the presence of mind, realizing that Chadwick was bearing down on him from behind, went for the simple layup instead of the dunk.
The lead is at 14. White, nice move in the lane. Can't get it to go, however. And the Cougars with the rebound. Jamel President. Out to Weber. Into Johnson, and he knows how to finish. Nice ball movement again.
Well, no need to worry about the defense coming in from behind on that one. Danny Johnson finishes with authority.
Richard Johnson will use the second of his 3 20-second timeouts tonight.
Really, Cedric Weber, I'll tell you, he's had some ups and downs in this game. His first game back in the starting lineup after a significant stretch as the sixth man. But his passing in this game, for instance, right here, has been, by and large, right on the mark, as was the finish by Danny Johnson.
28-12. A 20-second timeout, guys.
Fall into the new fall fashions at Bluestein's, where there are big savings on cord sets, denim sets, and sweater vests. At Bluestein's, you'll also find discounted prices on all major name brands, including Nautica, Boo, Tommy, Chaps, Lugs, and Timberland. Bluestein's has got their boot prices too, so come on down and fall into the fall fashions. Bluestein's, 494 King Street, downtown Charleston. Free parking in the rear.
It's about.
Good look at Chadwick with a great move to the basket. Unfortunately, couldn't finish. Danny Johnson streaks down court. Weber, what a first step. Can't get it to go, however, and Deloach gets the rebound, and then McCravey fouled him. Rich, early on, the Cougars shooting 61% from the floor. They're 11 for 18, holding Wofford to just 27%.
Part of that is that they've been very effective in generating turnovers and high percentage opportunities. The other part is that they have been clicking from three-point range as well.
7:05 remaining in the first half. Cougars by 16. We've got a timeout. Let's take it with them.
You've got a lot of important things to take care of in your life. You shouldn't have to worry about your family's transportation. Count on Hay Tire to do whatever it takes to make things right. Our people make the difference. Since 1981, it's been Hay Tire doing good things for good people in the cars they drive.
And remember, our reputation rides down the road with you every day.
Hay Tire, automotive service and repair, 444 Savannah Highway.
I need a Coke, a Coke, a Coke. Help me, someone. I need a Coke. Hey, Mo, do you know where I can get a Coke? It's really hot, and I need a Coke. Calm down. Just relax. I've got a Coke. But first, you have to clean the laundry. Clean the laundry? Yes, the laundry. I did the laundry. I've got a Coke. Oh, yes.
16-point advantage as we return to the John Kress Arena. Tony Schufo along with my good friend Rich Jablonski, and so far so good for John Kress's crew.
In the early going, it's all about high percentage offense for College of Charleston. 10 of 18 from the floor, 61.1%. Wofford, 4 of 15 from the floor, 26.7%. 7 different Cougars have already scored in this game, led by Danny Johnson with 9 points, Jermel President and Carl Thomas with 5 each.
Cougars also own a 13-6 advantage on the boards, and that will pay big dividends. They can continue to do that. Ravenel up top to Davis. Forbes left open, and he hits.
College of Charleston came out of that timeout in a zone defense themselves. Forbes able to find an opening at the left elbow and pop in the short jump shot.
Turnovers are equal at 6. President, the lob to Weber. Good defense by Wofford, as that may have been telegraphed, and Deloach knocks it away. Wofford, chance to cut the margin. They trail by 14. Weber, able to save it, but right to Wofford, and Deloach gets an uncontested 2.
Excellent pass by Bishop Ravenel off the steal. Forbes to Ravenel to Deloach. Wofford hanging around, Tony.
Under 6 to go in the first half. Wofford has scored 4 in a row after that timeout. Weber up top to Jamel President. Shot clock at 12 is President. Up top to Danny Johnson, now Carlos Brown. Shot clock at 6, Weber launching a 3 and connects his second three-pointer of the year.
Previously 1 for 13 from three-point range was Cedric Weber.
Ravenel, in fact, that one was in our last game at Furman, so he's hit a 3 in the last 2 games. Foul on the play by Danny Johnson, and Wofford will head to the free throw line, trailing by 15.
Wofford has gotten a couple of good looks in its last few possessions. That time it was the penetration creating the opening, and Forbes on the finishing edge, and fouled by Danny Johnson, will go to the line.
Richard Johnson had an opportunity to talk to him briefly before the game, and what a great guy he is, one of the good guys in this business.
Richard Johnson, I think, has found a program that's a good match for him. Yeah, Wofford's not a place where it's easy to win basketball games at the Division I level. But Richard Johnson's a classy guy. He fits very well with a school that has high academic standards. He's an excellent coach. You can match up with any coach in the Southern Conference for X's and O's. And he'll put a team on the floor that will compete. He's just competitive by nature.
Alfred Forbes makes the first but misses the second. And the advantage is 14 as we near the 5-minute mark of the first half. Shane McCravey works out top. Now Danny Johnson on the baseline. Lumpkin just too strong that time, and it's now 33-17 College of Charleston.
Jody Lumpkin just bumped Alfred Forbes right back off him, created space, and then knocked in the turnaround bank shot.
Chadwick right in front of John Crest to Davis. Underneath, Forbes. Deloach. And Thomas got the block, but there's Ravenel with the garbage bucket, able to pick up the loose ball and get the easy 2.
Bishop Ravenel giving Richard Johnson some pretty good minutes off the Wofford bench in the early going.
Young man who comes in and plays hard every minute he's in the game, Rich, and it pays off that time on the offensive glass. Weber behind the arc. Missed that one, gets his own rebound, goes up, scores, and is fouled. Well, one of the things about him hitting 1 3 means he's going to take another. The good thing about that, however, missing, he got his own rebound.
Well, you know the old saying. I mean, the guy who shoots the ball probably has the best idea of where the rebound's going to go. Cedric Weber followed that one very aggressively. I think he had a sense it was short from the start. There wasn't a specific box-out responsibility there, and Weber simply blew in uncontested for the rebound.
Cougars tonight are 2 for 2 from the free throw line, as Carlos Brown hit both of his attempts. Weber misses here. 35-19 Cougars. Weber with 7 points now. Only Danny Johnson has more with 9. Chadwick to Forbes. Shot clock under 20. Davis thought about the 3.
Cougars back to man-to-man, Tony.
Forbes a nice move on Thomas. Line drive shot won't go. And Lumpkin finally corrals the loose ball. Here's McCravey across the timeline. Danny Johnson missed the 3, and Forbes pulls down his 3rd rebound of the night.
He's beginning to have an impact now on the stat sheet as Alfred Forbes. He got off to a slow start in this game. Interesting story, a transfer from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point is Forbes. Found his way to Wofford and has become a very productive player.
Wofford's only loss in conference play was in overtime to App State, as they very nearly could be undefeated. Ravenel, a long 3. And it's 35-22. And you know he's got a cheering section here tonight.
5 points now for Bishop Ravenel. And Bishop Ravenel, a player who previously 0 for 10 from three-point range.
So Ravenel cuts the margin to 13. Weber has it rejected, but there's Carl Thomas to get the loose ball. Thomas for 3. Probably not the shot that you want in that situation.
Especially with 15 seconds on the shot clock. There was no hurry there, Tony.
Davis out to Chadwick. And now Davis hits a three. And it's a 10-point game. Back-to-back threes by the Terriers. Reaching the 2-minute mark of the first half.
Wofford clawing its way back into this game.
McCravey.
Charleston could sorely use a productive offensive possession.
Johnson misses the three.
And a quick three-point attempt is not my idea of productive.
Davis fouled, and he'll go to the line with the chance to cut it to 8.
This game is beginning to go Wofford's way. Bishop Ravenel, one of the keys, actually, to this Wofford rally, hitting a three-pointer. And right here, Chadwick in transition, looking for Davis in transition. The foul by McCravey. Davis will go to the line.
35-25 is our score.
Davis at the line, shooting 2.
One of the better free throw shooters on this team is Donald Davis, and of course, as soon as you say that, he misses, but he was 21 for 28, 75% coming into this game.
Well, John Kress has seen enough of this group. He's going to make a number of substitutions. So Thomas and McCravey and Lumpkin will head to the bench. Brown, Bolton, and President into the game. So 1 of 2 for Davis. Takes us to our final TV timeout of the first half. 2:01 to go. It is a 9-point game. Wofford is on a run. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Cougars on Comcast.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Jones for Gene Reed Toyota. We're kicking off 1999 with our best selection ever. If you think credit could be stopping you from getting into your next automobile, chances are our credit specialist can help. If you're out of town, call Collect, but pick up the phone and give us a call and get the ball rolling. If you've been faced with bankruptcy, foreclosure, repossession, or maybe you're just starting out and don't have any credit, our credit specialists are here nightly till 9, Sundays until 6. Gene Reed Toyota.
Life insurance.
Do I need term or whole life?
Retirement planning.
Will I have enough to live on?
Disability income.
What if I get hurt?
College funding.
It costs a fortune.
Hi, I'm Jim Smith of the Franklin Companies. My job is to help families prepare for their financial futures. If you would like to represent one of the industry's most secure and admired insurance companies, call us at 881-4904 and join one of the fastest growing life insurance organizations in the Low Country.
The lead is 9, 2:01 to go in the first half. And Wofford, with seemingly everything, Rich, going against them. Big crowd here tonight. Good defense by the Cougars, but really lately they haven't been affected by that at all.
Wofford has not done a bad job in half-court defense. College of Charleston has scored a number of its points in transition off of turnovers. And if Wofford can reduce the turnovers, it's going to have a real crack at this game, Tony.
Well, a break there for Wofford because the Cougars had an easy layup underneath the basket. Instead, Forbes fouls Johnson going for the pass.
And should be a common foul in an inbounding situation for College of Charleston.
Wow, he took a shot, did Johnson, and it saves 2 points for Wofford. 1:45 to go in the first half. So they are really all over Carlos Brown. And finally a foul is called on Hasty.
Wofford, I believe, has changed to a man-to-man defense with much more aggressive matchups on the perimeter going after the College of Charleston in the half-court set now.
So Brown, senior out of Charlotte, who's 2 for 2 from the free throw line tonight, will head back to the charity stripe.
Carlos Brown on the line, shooting 1+1.
For a 1-and-1 opportunity.
Gets the roll on the first one, and the lead is back to double figures at 10, 36-26.
The big guy from Harding High School in Charlotte really has made the most of a career that started very slowly. The summer before he came to College of Charleston, he was involved in an automobile accident and suffered a leg injury. that really put his career in some measure of jeopardy. But he has developed consistently throughout his stay at college at Charleston and now is an important part of the Cougars' rotation.
Well, he used all of the rim on that free throw. Lead is back to 11 and a turnover on the other end. 1:22 to go. And if you're Richard Johnson and Wofford, the momentum you've gathered over the last 3 or 4 minutes, you don't want to lose here.
No, you don't want to surrender it over the final 82 seconds of this half. You've scrapped your way back into it. And if you can hang around to halftime, you have opportunities to adjust and make a game of it over the second half.
President with it up top to Carlos Brown. Shot clock at 16.
This is man-to-man all the way now, Tony.
Shot clock down to 10. President looking to go one-on-one. Instead, he pulls up and buries a three. It's the same thing Richie did to Furman in the first half.
Yeah, and, you know, I take it back. I said it was man-to-man, and then I took a look at it. It may well have been a zone again.
Well, give Wofford credit. They have disguised their defenses well tonight. Chadwick pulling up, shooting a 16-footer, and hitting over Jeff Bolton.
Well, you don't disguise that. Ian Chadwick has some offensive skill, and he simply fired that one right in Bolton's face.
So the shot clock is off. Chadwick with 5 points in this first half. Cougars will attempt to take the last shot of the half.
And the floor is spread as the Cougars hold the ball out. I would be surprised, though, if Bishop Ravenel, who's standing there with his hands on his knees, is the man who's going to be matched up with Danny Johnson. This looks like a more likely matchup. President against Davis.
Ball knocked away, out of bounds, Cougar basketball. Exactly 3 seconds remaining in the half, and John Kress will take a 20-second timeout.
Exactly, not a bad time to use one right here. You're going to use it or lose it. You might as well organize yourself in the front court for a good crack.
Would like to set up a half-ending play, and Cougars would like to take advantage of it.
You see Richard Johnson talking to his team. They have fought their way back into this game, have the Wofford Terriers. There was a point where it looked like College of Charleston really had Wofford on the ropes, was about to knock them out. And then Wofford began to click a little bit on the offensive end. Alfred Forbes, for one, warmed up a little bit. He has 5 points. Donald Davis, 6. Ian Chadwick, 5. And Bishop Ravenel with an excellent contribution off the bench with 5 points and some very active rebounding and some good passing as well for a big man.
3 seconds to go. The lob to Weber. Missed it, and Johnson with the follow dunk. Well, it wasn't the play he called, but Weber had a great look. Unfortunately, didn't go in. Danny Johnson, great position.
Good thing there were 3 seconds left there, Tony, because it gave Johnson just enough time to sky and put that ball back off the Weber miss.
Wofford had cut it to 9, but the Cougars score 5 of the final 7 points in the first half and take a 14-point lead into the locker room. 42-28 Cougars, and here's another look at the 3 by President that tripped down before, and that's what he did to Furman 2 or 3 times. We're late in the shot clock, able to hit long jump shots. 42-28. Let's take a timeout. You're watching the Cougars on Comcast.
You've got a lot of important things to take care of in your life. You shouldn't have to worry about your family's transportation. Count on Hay Tire to do whatever it takes to make things right. Our people make the difference. Since 1981, it's been Hay Tire, doing good things for good people in the cars they drive.
And remember, our reputation rides down the road with you every day.
Hay Tire, automotive service and repair, 444 Savannah Highway.
It's the new year. What better time to save on a new 99 Nissan Altima GXE? And your Nissan retailer has a great selection, too. There's standard luxuries like power windows, locks, cruise control, air conditioning, dual airbags, and even an AM/FM CD audio system. The Altima is powered by a 150 horsepower engine, the most powerful in its class. All this led Money Magazine to name the Nissan Altima a best buy. Or maybe they heard about this.
Lease a Nissan Maxima GXE for only $199 a month, only at Northside Nissan.
To be honest, I've never liked flying. And the name thing? It's a little weird, man.
Meet the Wright brothers, Comcast at Home revolutionaries.
Even though we're miles apart, we love playing games on the net.
That's why the Wrights use Comcast at Home, the fastest internet service available for your home.
My brother's such a wimp. Yeah, but we can play this fast. I don't mind flying so much.
Comcast at Home, the cable, internet, revolution.
Check out Comcast at-home internet service at these fine locations.
In the past 10 years, Santee Cooper helped bring $5.7 billion of economic development into South Carolina. But it's not all about big business growth. It's about finding ways to help grow any business.
Guess we're as big as we want to be.
And with this growth came something just as important as factories. Jobs. Over 18,000 new jobs.
Hey, my first paycheck.
Santee Cooper, the South Carolina energy resource that belongs to South Carolinians.
There's a look at our halftime score. 14 points here at the John Kress Arena. Cougars looking for their 11th straight win. And Rich, John Kress has to be pleased with his first half. Got off to a great start. Wofford seemingly came back a little, but they closed strong, and that's what's important.
Well, you're going to be pleased with a 14-point margin at halftime, Tony, but College of Charleston had opportunities in that first half to knock Wofford right out of the box and really didn't get the job done. In fact, the Cougars scored the final 5 points to put the margin to 14. And if I'm John Kress, I'm a little bit concerned. Yeah, I've scored 42 points, but at times I've been very stagnant on the offensive end. Wofford actually began to convert at a pretty good clip in the latter part of that half on their offensive end. In fact, after a slow start, I think they hit 6 of their final 9 field goal attempts. So if you're Wofford, you have some things to build on. If you're College of Charleston, you're up by 14, but I think you'd feel a little more comfortable and a little more as though you had gotten the job done if you were up by a little more.
Well, one thing Charleston has been doing, especially during this winning streak, is shooting the basketball extremely well. And they continue to do that tonight as we take a look at some of the halftime numbers.
Well, 55% from the floor in the first half for College of Charleston, 42% for Wofford. The thing about Wofford is they started out 4 for 15, then hit 6 for their final 9 to get to 42%. Three-point percentage, the Cougars have been on fire, led by Jermel President. Free throw percentage, nothing new there. The Cougars, arguably the best free throw shooting team in the Southern Conference. The rebounding circumstance, the College of Charleston with a pretty significant edge there, 18-12. The turnovers are even at 7. I'd say that one of the differences in this game is that College of Charleston has converted those turnovers into points on the offensive end, and Wofford hasn't done quite as good a job of that.
And some of the numbers that don't show up on the screen are by Cedric Weber. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 points, and 2 steals. He's a guy, quite frankly, Rich, that can do it all.
The only part of Cedric Weber's game that suffered in the first half of this was his shooting. He had a hard time putting the ball in the hoop, but he was unselfish. He made some great passes for open looks on the perimeter. Again, he got his share of rebounds, did Cedric Weber. This is a guy who is back in the starting lineup, was really back in the starting lineup more for a defensive matchup reason than for the fact that he's been so darn productive in recent games. But once again, whether starting or coming off the bench, Cedric Weber racks up numbers. By the time you look at that stat sheet at the end of the game, there's a pretty significant line of numbers after Cedric Weber's name.
And speaking of numbers, our young man Jermel President just 12 points now away from 1,000 as he got 8 points in the first half. So Jermel President well on his way to becoming the 16th player in school history to do so. When we come back, Jermel President joins us, and Steve Cooney sat down with him earlier. There's a look at our score. By 14 at halftime is the lead for the Cougars. You're watching the Cougars on Comcast.
Fall into the new fall fashions at Bluestein's. You'll look distinguished in a suit package with all the accessories. Bluestein's has suits for all occasions. 3-piece suits, double-breasted or single-breasted. Choose one of several styles of hats to top it all off. Bluestein's also has 2-piece sets, dress slacks, and dress shirts. So come on down to Bluestein's, and remember, if we ain't got it, you don't want it. Bluestein's Menswear, 494 King Street. Parking in the rear.
Technology. It's about the future. At Comcast, technology is at the heart of everything we do. Upgrading the cable system is just one way we're preparing for the future. Soon, we'll offer cable modems that make high-speed connections to the internet in the blink of an eye to help get the information you want into your home and into your hands when you need it. That's our commitment to the people who call the Lowcountry home. Get ready for the future. Comcast, everything you connect with.
Life insurance.
Do I need term or whole life?
Retirement planning.
Will I have enough to live on?
Disability income.
What if I get hurt?
College funding.
It costs a fortune.
Hi, I'm Jim Smith of the Franklin Companies. My job is to help families prepare for their financial futures. If you would like to represent one of the industry's most secure and admired insurance companies, call us at 881-4904 and join one of the fastest growing life insurance organizations in the Lowcountry.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Jones for Gene Reed Toyota. It's the 20th anniversary Toyota-thon. We've got super savings for you. If You're looking for sports utility vehicles, Toyota 4Runners, for example. Right now you can buy for no money down or payments as low as $299 a month. And when you buy any new or used car or truck from Gene Reed Toyota, get $500 cash back just in time for holiday shopping. Pick up the phone and give us a call. Remember, if we make a deal, we'll pay off your trade no matter what you owe. We're here nightly till 9, Sundays till 6, Gene Reed Toyota.
We're back live at the College of Charleston, halftime of the game between the Cougars and the Wofford Terriers. And joining us now is Jermel President, the Cougars senior guard. Mel, you're the only player on this team that is actually from the city of Charleston, the only one since Anthony Johnson was. Does that make you feel special that you've accomplished something that nobody else in this really basketball crazy college has been able to do?
Yes, it sticks with me every day. I always, growing up in Charleston, I always wanted to play ball close to home, and I got my chance coming out of high school at Burke, where I signed with the College of Charleston, and I'm really happy about it. I mean, I can talk to some of the inner city kids and give back, and I'm really proud about that.
You're closing in on a milestone too. You're about to join the 1,000 point club. That's got to be a good feeling as well.
Yeah, I think every player wants to get to that milestone. Every player wants to do good individually and collectively. And starting college, I always tell myself I wanted to be a part of a 1,000 point club. And personally, I think I'm a scorer. And I think that's great for me to come to the college. I was being from the inner city, Burke High School, and accomplish such a great thing.
I know when you joined the Cougars as a freshman that Anthony Johnson kind of took you under his wing a little bit. You guys used to joke around a lot together, and I'm sure that it must have meant something to have another guy who had come up the same way, through the same route as you have, through the Charleston area high school basketball scene onto the Cougars.
Yeah, me and Anthony, we joke a lot about, especially high school days when back at Star, when he didn't have great years at Star. We used to always beat up on Star. But Anthony's a great player more than he's a great person. I learned a lot from Anthony as far as the game of basketball from the point guard point of view. And we talk a lot. After games, I will ask him, well, what did I do wrong, or what did I do well in the point guard position? And he helped me out a lot. And I also get points from the NBA perspective as far as what they're looking for, and as far as defensive and scoring and assists. And he helps out a great deal.
Do you know at this stage what you want to do when it's over? And I guess I say that because it's getting closer all the time. You're in your senior year. Have you looked beyond this?
Yes, definitely. I think about it every day. A thing that looked well for me basketball-wise, I'll come back and this summer and December and graduate. And what I really want to do is get a degree in physical education and get back into the school system, maybe coach, and help some of the inner city kids. And my big dream is if I don't get some money somewhere playing, I want to come back and build a gym and start back like a boys club or something. What I grew up in, as far as playing ball in the gym and affiliated with the schools, and get these young kids back in the school and get up the streets, because that's where most of the kids at in the streets. So it's a lot of talent. So that's what I want to do.
What about this team? Do you like where it's headed this year? Do you like the way it's come together?
Yes, I think this is a great team. We have great players on this team. I think one person that's really looked over a lot is Shane McCravey. He gave up a lot of his offensive skills, and he keep everybody happy in the system. Danny Johnson bring on the scoring. Cedric Weber, Carl Thomas, those does a lot of dirty work. And myself, I just play defense, commit a lot of turnovers. And we have a well-balanced team followed by a great staff. So I think it's a very good basketball team.
Mel, thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the Cougars on Comcast right after this.
I need a Coke, a Coke, a Coke. Help me, someone. I need a Coke. Hey, Mo, do you know where I can get a Coke? It's really hot, and I need a Coke. Calm down. Just relax. I've got a Coke. But first, you have to clean the laundry. Clean the laundry? Yes, the laundry. I did the laundry. I've got a Coke. Oh, yes.
To be honest, I've never liked flying.
And the name thing? It's a little weird, man.
Meet the Wright brothers, Comcast at Home revolutionaries.
Even though we're miles apart,
We love playing games on the net.
That's why the Wrights use Comcast at Home, the fastest internet service available for your home.
My brother's such a wimp.
yeah, but we can play this fast. I don't mind flying so much.
Comcast at Home, the cable, internet, revolution.
Check out Comcast at-home internet service at these fine locations.
In the past 10 years, Santee Cooper helped bring $5.7 billion of economic development into South Carolina. But it's not all about big business growth. It's about finding ways to help grow any business.
Guess we're as big as we want to be.
And with this growth came something just as important as factories. Jobs. Over 18,000 new jobs.
Okay, my first paycheck.
Santee Cooper, the South Carolina energy resource that belongs to South Carolinians.
Technology. It's about the future. At Comcast, technology is at the heart of everything we do. Upgrading the cable system is just one way we're preparing for the future. Soon, we'll offer cable modems that make high-speed connections to the internet in the blink of an eye to help get the information you want into your home and into your hands when you need it. That's our commitment to the people who call the Low Country home. Get ready for the future. Comcast, everything you connect with.
14-point lead for John Kress's team at halftime as we're just moments away now from the start of the second half. Charleston and Wofford. Good look at two guys you probably don't want on camera that much. Cedric Weber, first half, 5 assists, tying his career high. There's a reason for that, isn't it?
Well, part of it is the fact that Cedric Weber has become a more complete player during his senior season, but there's a strategic reason as well, and that is that Wofford is a very undersized team. When the ball is being punched inside to College of Charleston's big guys, one of whom is Cedric Weber, Wofford looks very aggressively to double team or triple team down on the ball when it's punched into the low post. Weber and his frontline partners are aware of this. They've studied it on film. They've heard about it from the coaches. So the extra effort is being made to pop the ball outside to the likes of Jermel President. And when you got Jermel President on fire as he has been in recent games, well, right here we're going to see, by the way, Cedric Weber in transition, finding Jermel President on the perimeter. Smart play there by Weber. And, of course, Jermel knowing how to finish that one in the flow. And here we're going to see a good little stretch of passing by College of Charleston as well, if I'm not mistaken. On the perimeter, there's Danny Johnson looking inside to Jody Lumpkin. And Lumpkin had just used his size advantage to bump Forbes right back off the block and then turned around and shot over another player. That's part of the story. College of Charleston's big and physical inside as opposed to Wofford. That's one of the reasons, getting back to Weber, why he has 5 assists. He's looking for the open man.
And it's benefited Danny Johnson, Jermel President with 8, Johnson with the 11 in the first half. Those two have combined 8 of the 11 from the floor, and they've hit half of their 6 3-point opportunities.
College of Charleston is a team that thrives on percentages. On the offensive end, clicking at a high percentage, nearly 50%, and on the defensive end, holding teams down. And once again, that's the story tonight.
Well, about set to start half number 2. Final words by John Kress. Good look also at Brian McGraw. You look on your screen to the left of John Kress. He is the administrative assistant here as we get set to start the second half. Forbes will inbound right in front of us here at half court.
A few final words for the Cougars from John Kress. I would imagine College of Charleston would come right back out with the starting lineup. And indeed, they have McCravian President in the backcourt, Lumpkin at center, Johnson and Weber at the forwards. That was the starting 5 for College of Charleston. For Wofford, Donald Davis, Ian Chadwick, Alfred Forbes at the 3 spot, or at the 4 spot, Starzy Walker at 3, and Rashane Deloche at center.
Wofford will get an opportunity to cut into that 14-point deficit. First possession of the second half. Chadwick swinging at the Forbes, now to Walker. Cougars in a man-to-man. There's Deloche with it to Davis. Chadwick launching a 3, and Lumpkin corralling the rebound.
See if Charleston can be more efficient on the offensive end, and that's not a good way to start right there, Tony.
Turn it over. Here's Walker. And he does cut the lead to 12. It's 42-30.
Boy, I know one aggravated coach, and he's the guy sitting over with 478 career wins on the College of Charleston bench. You want to come out and establish your half-court offense right away, not throw the ball away on a low percentage pass.
Johnson underneath the Weber. Cedric can't get it to go. And he is now 3 for 12 from the floor. McCravey knocks it out of bounds. But it remains Terrier basketball.
Wofford hanging around, hanging around. And, you know, if you're Richard Johnson after last year's game, won by College of Charleston 79-48, you've got to be pretty encouraged about the way your team is holding up in a tough arena such as the John Kress Arena.
Chadwick up top to Walker. There's Forbes now. Looking into Deloach against Lumpkin. And the rejection by Jody Lumpkin. Here's Johnson down the lane and a reach-in foul on Wofford. Cougars with only 1 block in the first half, and that is very uncharacteristic. This team leads the league. In fact, has 56 more blocks than the opponent coming in.
One of the reasons, I think, because Wofford not really looking to establish its offensive inside.
Lumpkin, speaking of inside, just powers his way for a 2, and the lead's back to 14.
Defensive miscue there by Wofford on the inbound pass. Lumpkin wide open under the basket.
Walker, Chadwick. Back to Walker. Eyeing a 3. Johnson with the rebound. Johnson with 5 rebounds, and Weber with the flush on the other end. And it's 46-30.
Boy, the pass there from Danny Johnson was a thing of beauty. Now, previously, a long hit-ahead pass thrown away. But on that one, Johnson threading the needle to Cedric Weber, who finished.
Walker behind the arc. Shot clock at 20. Cougars in the man-to-man. Chadwick down the lane, and Weber with the steal, and may be hurt as he turns it over. Davis, 3 is good, and that's a tough break for the Cougars. Weber that time had someone fall on his legs, and he threw it away, and Davis picked up the loose ball and hit the 3. Down to 13 again. Offensive foul on the Cougars.
I think there was an illegal screen by the College of Charleston there.
President picking up his 2nd personal foul.
24, Bishop Ravenel into the Terrier.
46-33, Bishop Ravenel. Had a big first half, young man from Charleston. Enters the basketball game.
Really an unsettling start to the second half for College of Charleston. They've done nothing to really establish what they're trying to do against Wofford in the early going.
To Davis. This time his 3 is short. Deloach with the offensive rebound and the easy 2, and it's an 11-point game.
Outworked there were the College of Charleston Cougars. Wofford is not a physically big team, but they got after the offensive glass there, and Deloach on the finish.
It is 46-35. Wofford has scored the last 5 points. And Davis almost had that errant pass by Weber.
I'll tell you who has a tough matchup playing man-to-man is Bishop Ravenel. He was matched up briefly there against Danny Johnson, and that is a severe mismatch for quickness.
McCravey swings it to Jamal President.
And it's a zone now, without a doubt.
Weber gets a step in the lane, has his shot blocked, but a foul's called on Forbes that will send Weber, the senior out of Columbia, to the free throw line.
See, you can look at that defense and you see players matched up apparently man for man, but then you look at how the matchups evolve over the course of a possession, and you realize that it's a zone.
Cedric Weber at the line, shooting.
Cougars tonight from the free throw line, 4 out of 5. Weber is 0 for 1. First free throw will not stay down.
The ball has not stayed in the hole for Cedric Weber at all tonight. He's had some good opportunities, both from the field and now from the line, and simply has not been able to convert at the customary rate.
Misses a pair, and Wofford a chance to cut the lead under 10. It's 46-35. Ravenel with it to Chadwick. Here's Deloach picking up the loose ball. Davis to Forbes. Shot clock at 15. Chadwick gets loose underneath. Lumpkin with the block. His 2nd of the half. But it'll remain Wofford ball. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Chadwick using the backdoor move against Shane McCravey, and his teammate Lumpkin helping McCravey out by covering up for the mistake.
See McCravey talking to one of the officials.
Thinking there may have been an illegal screen off that backdoor move, I suspect.
This is the inbound pass to DeLoach.
I know McCravey's been racked a couple times by screens in these last few possessions.
Shot clock at 2, down to 1, and that will be a turnover. And John Kress is beside himself because the official, away from the ball, not able to see the steal by Johnson, said it was a shot clock violation. What John Kress will argue, obviously, is that we had possession going the other way.
Well, and that dialogue's not going to get him very far. My impression would be that perhaps John Kress is a little bit unsettled with the entirety of this game, not just the officiating. And the opportunity there to vent a little bit for the veteran coach, and he took it, giving official Michael Costabile an earful.
Well, that was a very tough call for the official because about the moment Johnson knocked it away, the shot clock went off. And really, from our vantage point, it didn't look like he had control of it yet, so probably a good call. What it does, however, is maybe get you the next one. You see the foul called on Davis.
His second, team third. Timeout.
Second foul on Davis, third on Wofford this half. We've got our first time out of the second half, 15:53 to go. Cougars leading by 11. You're watching the Cougars on Comcast.
Fall into the new fall fashions at Bluestein's, where there are big savings on court sets, denim sets, and sweater vests. At Bluestein's, you'll also find discounted prices on all major name brands, including Nautica, Boo-Boo, Tommy, Chaps, Lugs, and Timberland. Bluestein's has got their boot prices too, so come on down and fall into the fall fashions. Bluestein's, 494 King Street, downtown Charleston. Free parking in the rear.
You've got a lot of important things to take care of in your life. You shouldn't have to worry about your family's transportation. Count on Hay Tire to do whatever it takes to make things right. Our people make the difference. Since 1981, it's been Hay Tire doing good things for good people in the cars they drive.
And remember, our reputation rides down the road with you every day.
Hay Tire, automotive service and repair, 444 Savannah Highway.
Cougars by 11.
And the hit ahead by Danny Johnson here, Tony, to Cedric Weber. And although Weber has struggled from the field tonight, generally speaking, when he is sending the ball straight down, he's going to knock it in.
Cougars with the basketball. Danny Johnson. Here's that mismatch you talked about, but Johnson unable to finish. And here comes Chadwick. 2-on-1, Davis back to Chadwick, and it's blocked by Lumpkin out of bounds. It'll remain Wofford ball.
You talked about the scarcity of blocked shots in the first half. College of Charleston is off and ripping in that category in the second half. Lumpkin with a couple of them already.
DeLoach top to Davis, thought about the long jumper, instead goes to Ravenel. He's open for 3, and it won't stay down, and Lumpkin pulls down the rebound. Weber finds Johnson. His jumper won't go, however, and DeLoach gets the rebound. Cougars just 2 of 6 to start the second half from the floor.
And you know what, Tony? I can see why Wofford's 2-1 in the Southern Conference. They play a pretty good brand of basketball in their own right.
McCravey fouls Chadwick before the shot. It'll be the second team foul on Charleston here in the second half.
They show you some different defensive looks. They've got guys who can create their own shots one-on-one. Chadwick's a pretty confident player with the ball and looks to score. Forbes can be a pretty prolific scorer at this level. The only thing they really lack is good, consistent inside play. They're not a physically big team, and that will hurt them over the course of time.
Third foul on McCravey sends him to the bench. Chadwick out to Davis. Spinning. And a good job by Chadwick to save it. Ravenel, was he over the back or goaltending? Offensive goaltending, and I think it was a good call. That ball was not quite out of the cylinder before he touched it.
Just a tough one to time because the original shot by Rashane DeLoach just hung on the rim for that extra instant.
Well, the Cougars to inbound, but no one to inbound to, and we've got a whistle. And John Kress wants a 20-second timeout. Now, he's going to be very unhappy about this because that just shows a lack of concentration when everyone but Jamel President goes to the end to get the basketball.
Yes, you need to have your 2 and 3 men prepared to inbound the ball or to help against pressure. Right here you'll see Deloche and the basket interference against Ravenel. Deloche taking the ball to the glass. Let the replay run through. And Ravenel in a little bit early as the ball hung on the rim.
14:48 to go in the first, or I should say in the ball game. And as Richard mentioned, a very unsettling time. The lead down to 11. Wofford has played tremendous here in the second half.
And they'll come out with some 1-2-2 pressure coming out of this timeout, an opportunity to set up the pressure.
Carl Thomas to Jamel President. The Cougars break it rather easily, but here's the double team to Danny Johnson. Cougars by 11. President gets a step on Davis. He's fouled on the play. And I believe it's before the shot, but we'll find out. Charleston with a 3-game homestand. In fact, our next road game is on the 25th of this month. It'll be at Wofford. So the Cougars will inbound. That was the 3rd foul on Davis. Danny Johnson leans into a short jumper, missed it. There's Carlos Brown with the offensive rebound. President. Davis fouled him before the shot or after. Yes, they count the shot. That'll be a break for the Cougars because Davis gets his 4th foul and Jamel President gets the continuation.
Not so sure I would have given him the field goal there. I mean, hey, you can argue that one either way. In point of fact, Jamel President now has penetrated against Davis twice. Davis has put himself in a deficit situation twice, has committed fouls, and this time he gets tagged for the shooting foul.
President with 10 points. He needs 10 more for 1,000. He'll try to edge a little bit closer as he tries to convert this 3-point play. Lead back to 13. Can't do it, but Weber gets the rebound. Out to Carl Thomas. Cougars tonight, just 4 for 8 from the free throw line. Came in leading the league. Weber, quick step, can't get it to go. And there's Ravenel with the rebound. Weber has struggled from the field tonight. Chadwick. Tough pass by Chadwick and the turnover. And Weber, tough pass to Thomas, who lays it in. Wow, 50-35.
I don't know where Weber came up with that one. I guess we'll give him an assist. He threw that one up underhanded from the hip and was right on the mark.
Chadwick out to Pryor. That is the 6th assist of the night for Weber. That's a new career high for the senior out of Columbia. The lead is 15. Pryor looking to penetrate the Cougars zone. Can't do so and kicks it off to Largent. Ravenel with a shot clock at 8. Nice in pass to Deloach and a foul on the Cougars. Ravenel that time didn't panic with the shot clock going down. Made a nice entry pass to Deloach.
Ravenel is big enough to look over defenders and make the play. Here, I think we're going to get an opportunity here to take a look at Cedric Weber perhaps on the pass ahead here. Unorthodox from the hip, left-handed. Bingo. Layup.
Deloach hits the first free throw, and it's 50-36. Forbes will replace Ravenel in the Wofford lineup. Bolton into the basketball game for John Kress, and Danny Johnson will have a momentary seat. Deloach hits the pair. And the lead again down to 13. Another substitution for Wofford, and Hasty will check into the game. Kenny Hasty, 6'8" sophomore out of Columbia, South Carolina.
And with Shane McCravey on the bench now for College of Charleston, Jamel President will run the offense.
President up top to Carl Thomas. Thomas tonight with 7 points. It's 3 out of 4 from the floor. Weber almost turned it over, able to get it out to President. Bolton behind the arc. Measures a 3, but a little too strong, but a nice job by Thomas. Just kept battling for that offensive rebound and got it.
The old expression, possession 9/10 of the law, and in basketball, you get possession of the ball by rebounding at College of Charleston, going to the offensive glass there.
Bolton thought about the 3, gets a step on Chadwick, and a nice move by the freshman out of Augusta, Georgia. Bolton on the night with 5 points. Pressure by the College of Charleston. The lead at 15 again. Chadwick is fouled by Carl Thomas. You know, I have been not only impressed by Chadwick's ability to score, because we can read the newspaper and the box scores around the league. What has impressed me is just how quick this young man is. Tremendous first step and has led a lot of their breaks with his quickness.
Well, this guy presents some real problems for a defender. He's averaging 17.8 points a game. He's a great three-point shooter, 42.4%. More than half of his field goal attempts have been from three-point range, and yet he has the second highest total of free throws, which means he's a penetrator as well. So how do you stop him? I mean, do you take away the drive or do you take away the three?
Chadwick with the ball. This time they can't take away the three, but fortunately he misses, and Carlos Brown pulls down the rebound. Here's President quickly across the timeline. Bolton left open and connected. 5 straight for Jeff Bolton, and the lead is up to 17.
Boy, Jeff Bolton really gives College of Charleston a lift off the bench. He's such an enthusiastic, heady, aggressive player, and he goes right after it when he gets on the floor. There's no jet lag for Jeff Bolton when he gets in the game.
Hasty and a pair of 6'8" centers from Columbia. This time Lumpkin wins the battle. His 4th block of this second half. It'll remain Wofford basketball, but we've got a timeout on the floor. 11:43 to go. Cougars leading by 17. You're watching College of Charleston basketball on Comcast Cable.
Great New Year's resolution. Don't spend too much. Good evening. I'm Tim Jones for Gene Reed Toyota. Toyota 4Runners right now buy for no money down or payments as low as $299 a month. If you're a truck buyer, let's talk about how we can save you money. We've got a great selection. Regular cab, extra cab, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. Pick out your favorite color truck right now. Buy for no money down or payments as low as $169 a month. These are just a couple of quick examples of how we can save you money. Call us or come see us, corner of Ashley Phosphate and Rivers Avenue.
A common thread in the lives of over 1.1 million South Carolinians is Santee Cooper. For that's how many people depend on the electric power we generate.
Goodness, doesn't that sound like a lot of folks?
Sure does.
And for 55 years, the rates for this low-cost power have remained below the national average.
Whoa, now I can live with this.
Santee Cooper, the South Carolina energy resource that belongs to South Carolinians.
17-point lead for John Cress's Cougars. And here's a reason why.
One of them, anyway, is Jeff Bolton with the baseline jumper from the left side. He is 3 of 4 from the floor, 7 points, and he has given College of Charleston a real conspicuous burst of energy in this half. Here you see the penetration and the sweet kiss off the glass.
Wofford with the basketball. Shot clock at 13. Forbes, nice first move and a high rainbow archer. Able to break the run by the Charleston and cut the margin to 15. Tony Schufo with you tonight, along with Rich Jablonski and one other color analyst we have with us tonight, Nick Schufo, my son, next to me, making paper maches. Here's Danny Johnson with it.
And Nick's pretty colorful, Tony.
He certainly can write. Lumpkin double team. That leaves Brown open. And he hits the three. You wouldn't think of Carlos Brown as a three-point shooter, but just when you think that, he sticks a big three-pointer.
You have to respect him.
Pryor on a pass from Largent.
At defensive transition, a poor job there by College of Charleston, beaten down the floor off of a made basket.
57-41. Just under 11 minutes to go. Danny Johnson with the basketball as Wofford really extends the man-to-man defense. Carlos Brown, senior out of Charlotte. Nice pass to Lumpkin, and what a strong move by Jody Lumpkin. Wow.
Well, Kenny Hasty is listed at 6'8" and 220, but Jody Lumpkin just bodied him right off and shot over him.
Largent swinging at the Pryor. Doesn't hesitate, but missed the three. And Carlos Brown showing some strength of his own with the offer, the defensive rebound. President. Danny Johnson hits a 17-footer, and it's 61-41. And Rich, in a blink of the eye, it's a 20-point lead, and this crowd of 3,517 is getting back into this ballgame.
And Richard Johnson from Wofford's going to want to talk it over for 20 seconds here, Tony, and I can't blame him. College at Charleston, you could sense it, and I think the crowd could too, coming out of that timeout. Was
20-second timeout by Wofford, and as you said, Rich, it came at a perfect time because things may have been getting out of hand for Wofford.
And what can Richard Johnson really say to his team here other than you have to be ready? This team can continually come at you in so many ways. You fall asleep for 30 seconds, and boom. All of a sudden, it's a quick 5-point run, and you're falling out of the game.
Johnson with 13 points. Danny Johnson, he is 6 of 11 from the floor.
Danny Johnson, and of course, early in the season to say this, only 6 games in, he's making a case for Southern Conference Player of the Year as Danny Johnson.
Speaking of the SoCon, some finals earlier today. App State a winner at home over East Tennessee State, 84-73, and I'll give you some more of the Southern Conference scores as we go along. Pryor, top to Chadwick. Under 10 minutes to go. Chadwick with the foot on the line, hits it. It should not be a 3, but they give him one anyway. He had his right foot on the white line, and it goes down. 61-44.
8 points for Chadwick now. He and Forbes have not been able to generate the type of offense they have throughout the season in this ballgame, and no surprise, Cougars are a pretty sticky defensive team.
Bolton out to Danny Johnson, and now Carlos Brown backing in, and a good job that time by Brown. Forbes, seeing he probably was overmatched, tried to get the offensive foul.
Yeah, overmatched by about 20 or 25 pounds and an inch or so in height, and just too much for Alfred Forbes there.
Chadwick off the screen is fouled by Jeff Bolton with 9:02 to go, and Chadwick, who last year had a miserable night with only 7 points, hitting 1 of 10 from behind the three-point arc, and only 2 of 12 overall, tonight with 8 points, and he'll go to the line to try to reach double figures.
He is an all-day and overtime task defensively because not only is he good with the ball, but he's pretty clever without it. Wofford sets a lot of screens for Ian Chadwick to get him open. And if you have spent the evening predominantly playing man-to-man against Ian Chadwick, you're not only going to come out of breath, but you're going to be battered and bruised from the types of screens that Wofford sets to spring this guy.
Chadwick with 9. We saw Richard Johnson's team about 3 years ago. We renewed this rivalry. And without question, Rich, this is the best product we've seen on the floor for Wofford. They have been very impressive. Win, lose, or draw tonight. This is a very good Wofford basketball team, and as you said, they're 2-1 in this league for a reason.
They have made quantum strides in terms of their quickness, their ability to compete athletically at this level.
Danny Johnson feeds it to Weber. Quick double team. McCravey, tough shot. Brown with the offensive board, but has it stripped by Deloach. The lead is 17. Chadwick left open. And just like that, it's 14. How do you leave one of the top scorers in the league wide open, but the Cougars just did it?
I was going to say, better find him. He has been releasing very quickly to the offensive end. They've been finding him on the wing, and he can create real problems for you.
20-point lead is quickly down to 14. 8:15 to go. McCravey is fouled. Missed the tough inside shot, but the senior out of Spartanburg will shoot a pair.
Turnabout fair play. How many times has Shane McCravey standing on the perimeter punched the ball inside to Carlos Brown? This time it's Brown, the big guy on the perimeter, looking inside for his smaller teammate.
And the experienced McCravey knew the first thing to do was create contact, because if I miss, I still go to the free throw line.
Well, he's pretty cute with the ball in his hands, is Shane McCravey. I mean, he really is a playmaker first and a scorer second.
Charleston tonight is 4 for 10 from the free throw line.
And this is a team that comes in shooting 73.2% as a team from the line.
And that mark leads the Southern Conference. Make it 4 for 11.
Well, if it's going to happen, it might as well be in a game where you're ahead by 14 points with a little over 8 minutes left, Tony.
Wofford hanging in there. Chadwick missed this 3. White went for the loose ball. They say it's off McCravey. We've got a timeout on the floor. 20-point advantage is down to 14. Let's take a break. We'll return with more. You're watching the Cougars on Comcast.
A common thread in the lives of over 1.1 million South Carolinians is Santee Cooper. for that's how many people depend on the electric power we generate.
Goodness, doesn't that sound like a lot of folks?
Sure does.
And for 55 years, the rates for this low-cost power have remained below the national average.
Whoa, now I can live with this.
Santee Cooper, the South Carolina energy resource that belongs to South Carolinians.
To be honest, I've never liked flying. And the name thing? It's a little weird, man.
Meet the Wright brothers, Comcast at Home revolutionaries.
Even though we're miles apart, we love playing games on the net.
That's why the Wrights use Comcast at Home, the fastest internet service available for your home.
My brother's such a wimp. Yeah, but we can play this fast. I don't mind flying so much.
Comcast at Home, the cable, internet, revolution.
Check out Comcast at-home internet service at these fine locations.
63-49 our lead at the John Kress Arena.
And the action under the basket here. You see several players going after the ball. Who touched it last?
Well, I think after looking at the replay that the official got it right. Certainly looked from that replay that even though White reached for it one last time, he may have missed it. 7:59 to go. Ravenel to inbound. He does so to Forbes.
Tony, it takes a big man to admit that an official is correct.
Well, we've got the advantage of a replay, and it looked just from that possibly there's a turnover by Chadwick, and President that time able to force the turnover. Only the 11th on the night for Wofford.
After a tough start where they were turning the ball over pretty consistently as well.
McCravey double team. Threw it away. Turnover number 11 for the Cougars.
Do it the easy way. Why throw long and high when you've got a player open in the middle of the floor? And I think there was one in the middle of the defense for College of Charleston there.
Cougars have hit 7 3-pointers tonight. Wofford with 6. Davis, Chadwick, and now Wofford has hit 7, and it's an 11-point game.
And all of a sudden, Ian Chadwick has 16 points, which is rather close to his 17.8 point per game clip. And he has shot Wofford right back into this one.
McCravey penetrates, nearly turned it over. Trying to get that 5th foul on Davis. There's Thomas. He'll pick up a foul on Ravenel.
And it should be the 7th on the team, if I'm not mistaken, Tony.
That's the good news. The bad news is the Cougars have struggled mightily tonight from the free throw line. It'll be a 1-and-1 situation for Carl Thomas.
See the pass inside here from Brown to Thomas, and the contact actually before the look there.
Senior out of Tampa, Florida, only 63% on the year. And the rebound by Wofford.
I get the feeling this one is a long way from over, Tony.
Forbes, offensive foul. One official wasn't going to make the call, the one standing right underneath the basket. It was the official near us that saw the charge.
Give McCravey credit. He stepped in on Alfred Forbes. McCravey 5'11", Forbes 6'4", and a well-built 6'4". This is 6'4", 202 pounds, a senior Alfred Forbes. McCravey stepping in there.
So the senior out of Spartanburg playing against his hometown team. Under 7 minutes to go. It's an 11-point lead for John Kress's ball club. Weber, double team, kicks it to McCravey, back to Weber. Lumpkin, no foul call, gets the offensive rebound and puts it in.
Sometimes you just get lucky, Tony, and College of Charleston was there. A good bit of passing by the Cougars early in the possession, then a deflection to Jody Lumpkin, and Lumpkin with some hard work finally able to stick the putback.
White working against Lumpkin, falls up his dribble. Nearly a 5-second call. Forbes against Weber. Ravenel against Thomas. Chadwick. Terenthio White now spinning. Shot clock is down to 6. Down to 3. Chadwick is going to launch it. Miss it long. And it goes out of bounds. It'll be College of Charleston ball with 6:02 to go and a 13-point lead.
And we'll see, I think, more 94-foot type pressure now from Wofford College as we run through the final 6 minutes of this ball game.
Johnson nearly travels. There's McCravey breaking the pressure. Fouled by Ravenel again, no call. Johnson comes up with the loose ball.
and just run the offense now. Get into the offense, use the clock, get a good look.
Weber out to Johnson. Danny Johnson with his 15th point of the night. He leads the College of Charleston. The Cougars advantage back to 15.
And now tee it up, Tony. Get out on these guys and start playing them. Go to work on Chadwick. Now they've got Danny Johnson on him, and that's a good way to get started.
He went to work on Chadwick, but left Davis open. Fortunately, he missed the three, and Thomas is fouled by Ravenel.
And a big call from behind by Quentin Murphy there.
But I think a good call, and I think the official standing right in front of the student section, he weighed his odds of being able to leave this building had he not made that call. The students may have just jumped him right there, because from where we were sitting, I don't think there's any question that they found Thomas on that play.
Are you implying that in any way the College of Charleston student section would be anything other than entirely courteous and mindful of the officials and their feelings on these things?
You must have read my mind. There's no question. They are great fans, but at times you got to kind of, you know, push them back a little bit and tell them to calm down.
Time for this guy to start knocking down some free throws. He is better than a 63% free throw shooter.
Thomas hits the first. Charleston now 1 of 4 in 1-and-1 situations. Let's take another look. Did Ravenel foul him? I think so.
Probably some contact on the arm.
Cougars leading by 16. 5:19 to go. Make it 17. Cougars at home again Monday night. We advise you to get your tickets as soon as you can Monday morning. Chattanooga comes to town. In fact, they're already here playing at the Citadel tonight. There's Largent with it. Underneath to Deloach. Back to Largent. His three is no good. Lumpkin with the rebound. His 6th. Thomas thought about the three. Fouled by Ravenel. Well, you said he needed to hit some free throws. He just hit a pair. Now he'll get an opportunity to shoot a couple more.
College of Charleston with the authoritative rebound, and then the quick transition, creating the opportunity for Thomas. Driving very aggressively. And Bishop Ravenel, yeah, a very physical foul. Bishop Ravenel, I think, has actually given Wofford some excellent minutes tonight, given the constraints of what he had shown through the first 12 games of the season.
Chadwick had gotten a quick breather for Wofford, but he's quickly to the scorer's table as Thomas now with 10 points, make it 11. 3 Cougars in double figures tonight, and the lead is at 19, 71-52, with 4:50 to go. Wofford trailing by 19 points. Walker trying to make it 16. Can't do it as he misses a 3, and McCravey gets the rebound. Danny Johnson down the lane, and he gets the 2. Danny Johnson, 17 points in the lead, the largest of the night, 21, and Richard Johnson wants a timeout. 4:28 remaining as we take a look at Johnson finishing on the offensive end. 73-52 Cougars. Let's take a break. You're watching College of Charleston basketball on Comcast Cable.
Life insurance.
Do I need term or whole life?
Retirement planning.
Will I have enough to live on?
Disability income.
What if I get hurt?
College funding.
It costs a fortune.
Hi, I'm Jim Smith of the Franklin Companies. My job is to help families prepare for their financial futures. If you would like to represent one of the industry's most secure and admired insurance companies, call us at 881-4904 and join one of the fastest growing life insurance organizations in the Low Country.
It's the new year. What better time to save on a new 99 Nissan Altima GXE? And your Nissan retailer has a great selection, too. There's standard luxuries like power windows, locks, cruise control, air conditioning, dual airbags, and even an AM/FM CD audio system. The Altima is powered by a 150-horsepower engine, the most powerful in its class. All this led Money Magazine to name the Nissan Altima a best buy. Or maybe they heard about this.
Lease a Nissan Maxima GXE for only $199 a month, only at Northside Nissan.
Cougars by 21. Rich, the play of Shane McCravey continues to impress.
He has been a consummate ball handler, setting up his teammates and assuring distribution of the offense in a balanced fashion there. hitting Danny Johnson.
Cougars by 21. I told you that App State beat East Tennessee State by 11 earlier. VMI wins at home today over Georgia Southern 65-59. Davidson at home, a winner over Western Carolina 96-59. And the Citadel trails Chattanooga by 7 with 4 minutes to go at McAllister, 52-45. Davis finds Deloach, and there's McCravey with a good strip that time. It'll remain Wofford basketball, but just 19 seconds on the shot clock. Davis, top of the key. 4:09 remaining. Chadwick came up short on that three, and Forbes can't control it, and the Cougars have the basketball back.
Interesting statement here by John Kress. He starts out with Shane McCravey defending against Ian Chadwick, but once Chadwick starts to heat it up, Danny Johnson gets the call, and a little bit bigger player than McCravey, picking up about 4 or 5 inches as opposed to McCravey. Johnson gives Chadwick a little more problem clearing the shots.
McCravey up top, kicks it out. Carl Thomas steps inside the arc, came up short. There's Weber pulling down his 8th rebound. Out to McCravey, fresh 35 seconds. Cougars by 21. Into Lumpkin. Fouled on the play, and Jody Lumpkin will go to the free throw line. Rich, before we talk about Lumpkin, North Carolina Greensboro seemingly couldn't win a game early, beat Davidson at home, went out to Citadel tonight, winning at Furman as we look at Lumpkin's replay.
And that would be an excellent win for Greensboro, a team that we'll see in about a week or so right here at the John Kress Arena. Lumpkin has not, by the way, had a big night scoring-wise. He has 8 points. He's going to the line looking for 9 and 10 right now. But he has been a force inside when he's gotten the ball.
He really has. He's a lot like McCravey. Doesn't get a lot of the publicity. You don't hear a lot about it because the numbers aren't tremendous, yet they are so important to the efficiency of this team.
Well, you look at this team and you talk about efficiency. I think one of the things that you really have to talk about is balance. You look at the score sheet tonight. Danny Johnson 17, Carl Thomas 11, Jermel President 10, Cedric Weber 9, Carlos Brown 9, and Jody Lumpkin now 9 points for the College of Charleston Cougars. They could very easily wind up with 6 players in double figures in this ballgame. Well, actually, Glover in for Lumpkin now, so he's probably done for the night with 9 points. The College of Charleston has been spreading it around, and that makes them a very tough team to defend.
The lead is 22.
Good, by the way, to see Kevin Glover on the floor, a fellow who's had some back problems in the first part of the season for College of Charleston. Chadwick
starting to really heat up. He's got 18, but it's going to be too little too late for Wofford tonight. They still trail Charleston by 20, 74-54 with 3:09 to go.
McCravey back on Chadwick there. McCravey was the victim of a pretty solid screen that was not called by one of his teammates.
Thomas fouled. Out top by Wofford. Foul going to be charged to Largent. Cougars in the double bonus. Chattanooga here Monday night, 7:15. Our airtime here on Comcast Cable Channel 28 will be 7 o'clock. And there's a look at a foul. No question, so Thomas will go to the line. Chattanooga a winner tonight as Thomas hits the first free throw. Over at McAllister Fieldhouse, Citadel and Pat Dennis losing to the box by a count of 61-52. Tough times right now for the Citadel, but Pat Dennis is a great coach, and you know they'll keep working on it. Rich, before the year's said and done, they're going to win their share of games.
Well, there are a lot of reasons why the Citadel is struggling, Tony. I mean, it could be a long story. They've got so many young guys. And at the Citadel, it's one thing to be a freshman, but being a freshman at the Citadel, you really begin to hit the wall in January and February with the lifestyle that those kids have to lead at that school as part of their military commitment.
Kevin Glover with the rebound. Cougars by 22, 2:43 to go, and Dorico White. That cheer you hear, of course, is for Mike Finane, who is coming off a tremendous night at Furman Monday night where he scored 4 points. In fact, closed out the scoring as he got a dunk, his first career dunk, Rich, at the buzzer. John Kress breathing a little bit easier now with 2:39 to go.
Well, getting a few guys some playing time, which they can surely use. Again, as we pointed out, Kevin Glover with an injury problem early in the season, and College of Charleston, you never can have enough big guys. And if Kevin Glover can step up and perhaps get back to the point where he can give the Cougars a few solid minutes, that could be a big help to this team down the stretch.
Finane in. Carl Thomas to the bench. White missed the first free throw. Hits the second. Charleston 12 of 21 from the free throw line tonight, which is 57%. The lead, however, is 23, and that's all that matters. Ravenel getting a step on Finane, but there's Glover to double team him, and that forces the turnover. Rico White down the lane is fouled by Chadwick with 2:23 to go, and it looks like this game, Rich, is going to, the score certainly is not going to indicate just how close this game was, because it's 23 now, and Wofford seems to be really running out of gas.
Wofford was able to hang around for 32 or 33 minutes. There was a timeout in the middle of this half that College of Charleston came out of with a burst. And that really was the knockout punch in this game, as they were able to build the margin up pretty significantly in a hurry from there on out.
Brandon Boyce seeing his first action tonight, 7 foot 260. White hits the first free throw at 78-54. Well, the difference between this and the Furman game is the Furman game the other night in Greenville was only a 13-point final score. But that game was not nearly that close. It was 20-25 the entire second half, and late Furman made a run to cut it to 13. This game, on the other hand, was close throughout, and late the Cougars have pulled away.
Well, it'll look in tomorrow morning's paper like a blowout, but in point of fact, Wofford is a much improved team over last year, and they were much more competitive this time around at the John Kress Arena than they were last year.
Only the 14th turnover tonight by the Terriers. 79-54, 2:12 to go in the basketball game. These two teams meet again on the 25th of January in Spartanburg. That will be a game to look forward to. Derico White underneath to Kevin Glover. Had it blocked by Boyce. And the rebound by Largent. Pryor down the lane to Ravenel. Came up short. May have hurt himself. Ball is knocked out of the hands of Mike Finane, and they say it is Wofford basketball.
Well, initially, Ravenel landed a little bit uncertainly on the 1 foot and appeared to have suffered an ankle injury, but he's now walked it off. So some good news for Wofford there in a night when generally the news has not been that good.
Davis to Ravenel. Davis behind the arc, launching a three and hitting. Davis, with his 12th point of the night, he's hit 3 3-pointers, 4 of 8 from the floor. 1.5 minutes to go, 79-57 Cougars.
Wofford sitting on 57 points, and throughout the season, College of Charleston has allowed opponents 58.9 points a game, and that's one of the big stories of the evolution of this College of Charleston team, looking for its 11th victory in a row.
Brown has it knocked out of bounds by Ravenel, but it will remain Cougar basketball, and a couple of substitution. Willis High, go check of the game, and
from
Chris
Berkeley
Mamoli.
High School. As a matter of fact, Willis High, a walk-on from Berkeley High School out in Monk's Corner. Familiar player to high school basketball fans in the Low Country.
Shot clock at 10. Into Glover, and a steal by Boyce. 60 seconds to go. Here's Pryor. Walker left open. His 3 attempt is no good, and Finane gets the rebound. Cougars leading 79-57. Jamel President has it stripped away, and another turnover for Charleston. Pryor to Walker, and he's fouled. The basket is good.
Let's talk about this 3-game homestand. You usually look at games one at a time, and no doubt College of Charleston was not looking past Wofford tonight. However, if you think in terms of this 3-game homestand as a set, if the Cougars can hold serve, if they can defend their home court, not only against Wofford, but against Chattanooga on Monday and against Greensboro next Saturday, they will have finished the first half of their Southern Conference schedule with an 8-0 record, and they will clearly be in the driver's seat to be the #1 seed from the Southern Division come tournament time.
Well, in fact, Rich, you look at this win tonight by Charleston, gives everyone else except the Cougars at least 2 losses in the league. So Charleston with a 2-game lead over anyone else. Shot missed. Pryor has it stripped. Derico White trying to control it, pulls up, shot no good, and Wofford has it with 5 seconds to go. 79-60. High with a 3, no good at the buzzer. 79-60, our final score. College of Charleston, its winning streak reaches 11. Now 14-2 overall. 6-0 in the league. Wofford falls to 5-8 and 2-2. John Kress with his career win number 479. Cougars win it by 19 points here tonight over the Wofford Terriers. Let's take a timeout. We'll return with the post-game show from the John Kress Arena. You are watching College of Charleston basketball on Comcast Cable.
You've got a lot of important things to take care of in your life. You shouldn't have to worry about your family's transportation. Count on Hay Tire to do whatever it takes to make things right. Our people make the difference. Since 1981, it's been Hay Tire doing good things for good people in the cars they drive.
And remember, our reputation rides down the road with you every day.
Hay Tire, automotive service and repair, 444 Savannah Highway.
It's the new year. What better time to save on a new 99 Nissan Altima GXE? And your Nissan retailer has a great selection, too. There's standard luxuries like power windows, locks, cruise control, air conditioning, dual airbags, and even an AM/FM CD audio system. The Altima is powered by a 150-horsepower engine, the most powerful in its class. All this led Money Magazine to name the Nissan Altima a best buy. Or maybe they heard about this.
Lease a Nissan Maxima GXE for only $199 a month, only at Northside Nissan.
To be honest, I've never liked flying.
And the name thing? It's a little weird, man.
Meet the Wright brothers, Comcast at Home revolutionaries.
Even though we're miles apart, we love playing games on the net.
That's why the Wrights use Comcast at Home, the fastest internet service available for your home.
My brother's such a wimp.
Yeah, but when you can play this fast, I don't mind flying so much.
Comcast at Home, the cable, internet, revolution.
Check out Comcast at-home internet service at these fine locations.
In the past 10 years, Santee Cooper helped bring $5.7 billion of economic development into South Carolina. But it's not all about big business growth. It's about finding ways to help grow any business.
Guess we're as big as we want to be.
And with this growth came something just as important as factories. Jobs. Over 18,000 new jobs.
Hey, my first paycheck.
Santee Cooper, the South Carolina energy resource that belongs to South Carolinians.
Cougars shoot 53% tonight from the floor and win over Wofford 79-60, a 19-point win. That voice you guys hear is this little guy right here, is Nick Schufo. Nick, say hello to everyone. And they probably heard you all night on television talking to your father. At 3 years old, this kid talks more than anybody that I know. Rich, bottom line, however, as we let Nick get back to whatever he's doing, 19-point win is a win, and even in what looked to be not a great night for John Kress's club, they come away with a convincing victory.
College of Charleston did pretty much what it needs to do to win on its home court. It generated enough offensive opportunities to shoot a high percentage. It effectively limited Wofford's opportunities for the most part until later in the game, and once again held the team to 60 or fewer points. We're getting a little commentary from the side here as well. The bottom line, though, is College of Charleston just has too many players, too many weapons for a team like Wofford. Too many guys who can score, too many guys who can rebound, too much quickness. You put them on a home court in front of 3,500 loud fans, and Wofford's got a handful. You take a look at the statistics.
I don't know what's more of a handful, our crowd or my son.
Well, I mean, that's one way to look at it as well. But, I mean, look at the numbers. 53% shooting for Charleston, 38% for Wofford. Free throw percentage, Charleston was horrendous tonight, which is totally out of character for this team. They come in shooting 73% from the line for the season. But 61% from three-point range was Charleston. 77% was Wofford. Yeah, I guess he and Chadwick hit a few threes in that second half. This is the telling stat, though, right here. 38 rebounds for College of Charleston, 29 for Wofford. Charleston just has a significant physical advantage on the Wofford Terriers size-wise, and it shows.
College of Charleston, a winner tonight. They'll take on Chattanooga Monday night. Good crowd here tonight, over 3,500. A good look at Clyde, as he's one of the few still left. But the party atmosphere at the John Kress Arena has been going on all year long, continues tonight, and of course, hopefully it will continue Monday night.
College of Charleston is in the midst of a 3-game Southern Conference homestand, and we spoke about the significance of it before the break. If the Cougars can get through these 3 games, they will have completed the first half of Southern Conference play with a perfect 8-0 record. They knocked off Game 1 tonight against Wofford. Monday night it's Chattanooga, which was a winner at the Citadel tonight. And then next Saturday it's UNC Greensboro, a team that had gone for a long stretch not winning 2 games in a row, and now seems to have found its footing and is winning a few games.
And now it seems as if Greensboro can't lose. So the competition, John Kress said before the year, better coaches, better athletes, better competition, and he's exactly right. And tonight was another example, 19-point win. Wofford played them tight throughout.
A little bit deceptive. Wofford had a few good bursts in this ball game where they actually had the score and the margin below double digits, including a pretty significant run in the second half where you could sense that the fans at the John Kress Arena were getting a little bit uncomfortable, and the coaches certainly were getting a little bit uncomfortable with the team's play. However, College of Charleston came out of a timeout and really put a quick burst on Wofford. I think that pretty much took Wofford out of the game mentally, and from then on out it was just College of Charleston playing out the string and taking care of business.
Well, these two teams will meet again later this month, the 25th of January. They'll do so in Spartanburg. It will be a battle. But tonight, this battle won by the Cougars by 19, 79-60. Let's take a timeout. You're watching the Cougars on Comcast.
Fall into the new fall fashions at Bluestein's. You'll look distinguished in a suit package with all the accessories. Bluestein's has suits for all occasions. 3-piece suits, double-breasted or single-breasted. Choose one of several styles of hats to top it all off. Bluestein's also has 2-piece sets, dress slacks, and dress shirts. So come on down to Bluestein's, and remember, if we ain't got it, you don't want it. Bluestein's Menswear, 494 King Street. Parking in the rear.
Technology. It's about the future. At Comcast, technology is at the heart of everything we do. Upgrading the cable system is just one way we're preparing for the future. Soon, we'll offer cable modems that make high-speed connections to the internet in the blink of an eye to help get the information you want into your home and into your hands when you need it. That's our commitment to the people who call the Low Country home. Get ready for the future. Comcast, everything you connect with.
Life insurance.
Do I need term or whole life?
Retirement planning.
Will I have enough to live on?
Disability income.
What if I get hurt?
College funding.
It costs a fortune.
Hi, I'm Jim Smith of the Franklin Companies. My job is to help families prepare for their financial futures. If you would like to represent one of the industry's most secure and admired insurance companies, call us at 881-4904 and join one of the fastest growing life insurance organizations in the Low Country.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Jones for Gene Reed Toyota. It's the 20th anniversary Toyota-thon. We've got super savings for you. If you're looking for sports utility vehicles, Toyota 4Runners, for example, right now you can buy for no money down or payments as low as $299 a month. And when you buy any new or used car or truck from Gene Reed Toyota, get $500 cash back just in time for holiday shopping. Pick up the phone and give us a call. Remember, if we make a deal, we'll pay off your trade no matter what you owe. We're here nightly till 9, Sundays till 6, Gene Reed Toyota.
The stat that really matters is the one that shows the final score, 79-60. But let's take a closer look at some of the numbers that we had. Sometime, there we are. Free throw percentage for Wofford, 77%. It kind of reversed that time.
They kind of scared me a little bit there, Tony. I mean, I knew College of Charleston hadn't shot well from the line, but I also knew Wofford hadn't shot 77% from three-point range. But again, the story is College of Charleston physically superior to Wofford, a little bit quicker, although not as significantly quicker as they once were, but a lot more physical inside. The rebounding statistic, 39-29, one less turnover for College of Charleston, a good three-point shooting percentage, and a good overall field goal percentage for the College of Charleston Cougars, and it adds up to a 19-point victory.
Cedric Weber tonight as we await Danny Johnson,
who will join us.
And we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're just going to have it instead of just sit down and how are you doing, Dan? Danny, tonight, I'll let you hold the microphone. How's that? Danny Johnson, tonight, 17 points. You had 8 of 13 shots. You've been scoring at will. Took a few days off. You let Jamel President get some of the action, but you're right back at it tonight in a nice win over Wofford.
Definitely. We have a lot of scorers on our team. You know, every night it's going to be somebody else who's going to be the high scorer. You know, that's what makes this team so well. You don't know, who to defend, who to go after every night. So, a different person every night is good for the team, good for morale. and all that. And Jamel has been playing well, and he played well tonight. You know, I think we had a business-like win.
Before we hand it over to Rich Jablonski, I wanted you to talk about the play of a guy who doesn't, kind of an unsung hero in your ball club. Doesn't have the big numbers, but really kind of holds everything together. And that's Shane McCravy.
Oh, definitely. Shane McCravy is the general of this team. He takes us to war every night. You know, he leads us to battle. He runs the plays, and we just follow whatever he does.
Well, speaking of battle, Wofford didn't exactly fold up the tent. I mean, you guys blitzed them last year at the John Kress Arena. Tonight, although it's a 19-point margin, they were within single digits of you midway through the second half. What have they done to improve? What were the problems they were giving you guys out on the floor tonight?
They gave us problems because they're a much quicker team this year. Last year, their speed wasn't as high quality as it is this year. You know, they come off picks, they're quick to the ball. And that helps, you know, from year to year, you know, when guys are able to beat guys off the dribble, and I think that's what makes Wofford a better ball team this year.
It appeared to me that from a College of Charleston perspective, there was a real emphasis on inside out. In other words, the ball gets punched in, there's a double team and look out. Was that something that you had spoken about significantly in preparation?
Oh, definitely. We thought we was going to have a big impact inside with Jody and Cedric and Carlos. We wanted to get them the ball as much as possible, and, you know, if they doubled down, which they did frequently, we were just going to kick out, make open plays, make open shots.
And we've got a couple of replays that should be coming up here. Weber to our friend Danny Johnson. And Danny, from that range, your percentage has got to be pretty significantly high. Cedric Weber was distributing the ball tonight, though. Another one there.
Oh, yeah. Cedric's a good passer. You know, all of us.
A little farther under the basket there than you thought you were, wasn't you? That was definitely a much tougher shot than fans may have realized because you were well underneath the backboard.
Yeah, Shane gave me a good pass. I just wanted to finish, you know, give him the assist. That's what he lives for.
You had a nice finish last play of the half where the ball ended up in your lap and you were able to get the dunk.
Yeah. What's the mission now for this team? I mean, you know, obviously you're in conference play. You want to win as many of them as you can. But is there a big picture that this team is looking at?
Definitely. We want to make a stand in the Southern Conference in our first year. We come out every night business-like. We have goals, and we're going to stay with those goals. Every game, we don't look forward to the next game. We just come to each game individually, and we come out and play as hard as we can. Once that's done, we look at the next game, we come out with the same mentality.
Well, Danny Johnson, congratulations on another terrific night. You continue to play well. More importantly, your team continues to play well. Danny Johnson, our player of the game, young man who transferred from Clemson. He's now a senior from Morganton, North Carolina. He leads the Cougars to their 11th straight win, a 19-point win tonight at Wofford. Cougars improving to 14-2 and 6-0 in the league with a 19-point win over the Terriers. Let's take another break. We'll return to wrap things up. You're watching the Cougars on Comcast.
I need a Coke, a Coke, a Coke. Help me, someone. I need a Coke. Hey, Mo, do you know where I can get a Coke? It's really hot, and I need a Coke. Calm down. Just relax. I've got a Coke. But first, you have to clean the laundry. Clean the laundry? Yes, the laundry. I did the laundry. I've got a Coke. Oh, yes.
To be honest, I've never liked flying.
And the name thing? It's a little weird, man.
Meet the Wright brothers, Comcast at Home revolutionaries.
Even though we're miles apart, we love playing games on the net.
That's why the Wrights use Comcast at Home, the fastest internet service available for your home.
My brother's such a wimp.
Yeah, but we can play this fast. I don't mind flying so much.
Comcast at Home, the cable, internet, revolution.
Check out Comcast at-home internet service at these fine locations.
In the past 10 years, Santee Cooper helped bring $5.7 billion of economic development into South Carolina. But it's not all about big business growth. It's about finding ways to help grow any business.
Guess we're as big as we want to be.
And with this growth came something just as important as factories. Jobs. Over 18,000 new jobs.
Getting my first paycheck.
Santee Cooper, the South Carolina energy resource that belongs to South Carolinians.
Technology. It's about the future. At Comcast, technology is at the heart of everything we do. Upgrading the cable system is just one way we're preparing for the future. Soon, we'll offer cable modems that make high-speed connections to the internet in the blink of an eye to help get the information you want into your home and into your hands when you need it. That's our commitment to the people who call the Low Country home. Get ready for the future. Comcast, everything you connect with.
79-60, Cougars by 19, and many shots like this tonight. Weber with the steal, and Rich, the finish.
Weber with the slam dunk, and College of Charleston didn't exactly slam dunk Wofford tonight, but a pretty nifty little finger roll, I would describe it as the Cougars played percentage basketball and took care of their Southern Conference opponents rather handily.
Less than 48 hours from now, we'll be right back here at the John Kress Arena. Hope you will as well. If you don't have tickets, you better do so early Monday morning, because they are going quite fast. 8 for 8 now as the Cougars sell out again tonight. 8 sellouts at 8 games in this building, a crowd of over 3,500 tonight. We expect more of the same as Chattanooga comes to town.
Chattanooga will present some real problems for College of Charleston. It's a team that is more athletic than Wofford. It's got a little more inside power than Wofford, and it's a team that historically has fared pretty well on the road.
So if you can't get a ticket Monday night, join us right here on Comcast Cable Channel 28. 7 o'clock our airtime. We'll tip it off around 7:20 as the Cougars try to extend this winning streak to 12 games. Chattanooga, a winner tonight at the Citadel, will be at the John Kress Arena Monday night. For Steve Cooney, for everyone else involved with College of Charleston basketball on Comcast Cable, and for my partner here, the best in the business, Rich Jablonski, I'm Tony Shufo saying good night, everyone.